I'm doing great. I had an excellent day. I can't believe it's already almost 5 o'clock. That's awesome. Thank you, sweetie. I just got home not too long ago. Hi there, sweetie. How are you doing, babe? Thank you for the heart, me, sweetie. Oh, my pants are unzipped. Thank you so much. It's these BKE jeans. They always do that. The zipper always comes down. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I did not even notice. Thank you. It's always the jeans. Your husband does that. That's funny. And it happens in some of my videos too. You know. At least she let me know. At least y'all guys let me know, not staying there with my zipper undone. So that was a good thing. Thank you, sweetie. I'm gonna diet next week, next Wednesday. Back to red again. What am I having for dinner? I had Subway today. I'm not that hungry yet. I'll probably have a grilled cheese and some chips. Hi there, sweetie. How are you doing? Yeah, I think I might have a grilled cheese. I was supposed to pick up some ham, but I picked up the cheese, but I forgot my ham. I'll get that tomorrow. Somewhere to go tomorrow. Hello, sweetie. How are you doing? Thanks for the rose, hon. I had a tuna fish sandwich today. Today I had a wonderful day. I went to Campbell, Missouri, my hometown. I haven't been there in a while, in about a couple years. And I put some flowers on my grandpa's grave, my brothers and my sisters, and just enjoyed the day. Went to the parks, went sightseeing, went on some trails. Yummy spaghetti, yes. And I just had a terrific day. I just enjoyed every bit of it. And I haven't got to do that. I haven't had the money to buy flowers. And I think that's the reason why I've been out there. I haven't had the money to do all that. Hey there, sweetie. I'm glad that you got on here to find me. That's a good thing. Hey there, Ghost. How are you doing, girl? Yeah, today was wonderful, and I just now made it back not too long ago. And I'm just glad that I'm able to experience that stuff. I haven't been able to buy flowers in years, in about 3 years. Thank you. I just got this choker today. Thank you, guys, for thinking about me, sweetie. Hi there, hon. How are you doing? Thank you for the gift, sweetie. Yeah, I just had a wonderful day. I picked up drinks from everywhere. I started at Casey's. Yes. I haven't been out there in about 3 years to bring flowers, so I was just so happy it changed out there. It used to be a little different, look a little different. We used to be able to put more flowers and all that up there. It's just not as big as it used to be. Yes, I am single, and I'm going to stay single for a little while. Just enjoy myself. Yes, I am happy. I'm happy with myself. I tried to rush into talking to somebody a couple weeks ago, and it just didn't go good. I had to break that off because, I'm not ready to be controlled or anything like that. I'm 41 years old. I know. I just don't want to be with nobody right now. I'd rather just be friends with them. I want to start out as friends and then go from there. Somebody to go bowling with, somebody to go play pool with. Hey, Ray, how are you doing, sweetie? Oh, that's good you're single. Me too. I enjoy being single because I can go places by myself, do things by myself. I'm doing great. I had a wonderful day today. Just being happy. I went out to Sheryl Crow Park. I went to the Martin Luther King Park, Mark Twain Park, Miller Park. I went to a bunch of parks today. You know, Thank you, sweetie. I'm glad that you liked them, Ghost. Yeah, and I'm glad that I got to make those videos just in case I'm not able to go out to the cemetery. I can look at them. Yes, it is a beautiful day outside. It don't make me want to stay home. It makes me want to stay out until 8 o'clock at night or something. Thank you, Ray. Yes, doesn't it want to make you just want to stay out for a little while and just enjoy the day? Maybe go to the movies or something. Well, I don't have a lawn chair out there yet to set on my porch. I need to get a lawn chair. Me too. I love it. Oh, you got you a tuna fish sandwich today too. That's awesome, Ghost. I was so happy. I went in there and just like, oh my God. I haven't seen the people that work there in a little while. I like a man to take care of me. The filter is because you can see in some of my videos, my eyes bother me right now. And there's not the filter. But, I'd rather have a filter on there in case someone takes clips of me or whatever. They're not, and uses it against me because people's been clipping me and then reposted my lives. So right now, I just feel comfortable with the filter on until my eye gets better. I went and got me some allergy drops. Hopefully they work, allergy relief drops. So y'all just going to have to see me with a filter for a couple more days until my eyeball heals. Why am I single? It's just hard. I've been through a rough time. I've been put through a ringer and back for the past 5 years. Financially unstable, mentally, physically, anything you can think of from a guy. And I never got an apology from that guy. Just accused of doing things that I've never done. Thank you, sweetie. I love you too, girl. And I don't want to talk about that. That's the past, leaving in the past. But that's the reason why I'm single. I'm scared to get involved with somebody because I rushed into something a couple weeks ago and it just didn't go well. And I'm not going to stay in that situation because it's the same situation I was in before. Someone telling me what to do, how to act, how to talk. And I don't like that, telling me they don't like my voice. Well, if you don't like my voice, that's number one red flag. We shouldn't be talking. And that is true. I mean, I love myself right now, and I love me. I just got to find someone that's like me, something that we got in common, physical attraction, connection. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I can't help my voice, or when I get excited, I'm like, oh my God, and I get excited over little things. I can't help the way God made my body or God made me or my voice. I've had my tonsils taken out when I was 17, so it's a little different. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, I'm trying to do the best I can, and if being alone right now is the best thing for me until I could find somebody that's good for me. Like, I had this girl, and I thought she was going to be a friend of mine, and I was just looking for friends on Tinder. Oh, I didn't look at your message earlier, girl. I've got to look at it. Did you send it on Facebook? She wanted a relationship with me and her husband to watch. I don't want that. Let's see. Thank you, sweetie. Swindle. Um, yeah, Tinder isn't the best friend. They want more than friends. They want something else. Oh, I just got your message. Thanks, girl. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just a hookup for one night. Like these guys, they don't want nothing serious. So it's hard. They only want to hook up and that's it. Like they'll put long term relationship. I'm looking for something long term. I'm 41 years old. I don't have time for games and people saying, "Are you mad at me? Your voice is not what I want to hear." Yeah, that's what I need. And right now I'm focusing on getting my daughter, me and my parents. We're focusing on getting her. She's 11 years old and she's at home by herself every night from 3 p.m. to 11 o'clock right after school. And her day, she's about to be out of school and then she'll be at home by herself all day. Her dad will be sleeping and it's just not good on her. Oh, you married a man on Tinder. Well, I can't find a good man that I'm attracted to. Yeah, that is sad for her. That's why she was joining my live. I didn't make it to the courthouse on time. I had to walk up to the courthouse to try to get her, but me and my parents are taking him back to court to get her. My eye still hurts a little bit. I used to work at the truck stop. If it had my name on there, then I'm pretty lucky. They must have liked me as being a manager of Subway. I used to work at this truck stop in Marston, Missouri, and I got Employee of the Month the first month I was there. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, my parents are the one that decided to take him back to court because she shouldn't be there by herself. Um, he said he told his lawyer, and the police already came to the house for her being by herself. All right, I'll definitely message you if I have any questions. Yeah. Thank you for the heart, man. I just blocked him. But yeah, they did a well-being check on her, and they say that kids can stay as long as they're mature. But I don't think kids need to be by themselves that's too much from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's got to be boring, heartbroken. She can only get on TikTok and talk, and talk to her friends a little bit. And he takes away her phone when he comes in, and she can't even talk to me very much on the phone, and that's not right. She didn't get to see me or nothing. Yeah, it is dangerous. Yeah, my parents have done welfare checks on her. And they said it was okay for her as long as she's mature enough to stay at home by herself, which I talked to a police officer in Bernie, Missouri that I used to date. His name was John Atkinson. Me and him dated for a year. And he told me that kids can, in the state of Missouri, as long as they're mature enough, they can stay home by themselves. Yeah, she's treated right, but I just don't want her staying at home by herself. And she don't need to stay at home by herself, being 11 years old. She needs to be with me and my parents. She stays with her dad at the moment. Yeah, be with me or my parents. And on Mother's Day, he didn't even let me talk to her. He didn't even answer me. And I texted him on Saturday and 2 days before that. When I get her back, I'll do lives while she's on with her friend or at school. And I'll still do the lives. I love coming on here and talking to y'all and doing lives. When she's away, but I want to spend most of my time with her. Even if she stays at my parents' house, she might end up staying over there. If she's not staying with me, she'll be living with my parents. And it's better than living with her dad. I don't like the fact that she's there by herself for 8 hours. Yeah, while she's in school or spending the night with a friend. We love to play games. We used to play Barbies together, go to the museum together, go to the park together, open Christmas presents together, just do everything together. And then Brittany Crook started all of her stuff and then bullying me and all that stuff, her and Josh. And then it kind of hurt bad that they did that to me. And it messed up time with my daughter. Oh, she can live with me. She can live with me, and I'm just saying, I want what's best for her. If she wants to live with my mom, dad, or if she wants to live with me, it's her decision. Whatever makes her the happiest. I just want her to be happy, and I don't think she's happy where she's at. She didn't choose to live with her dad. He just came and got her after school. We were supposed to go to court, and I didn't make it to court on time. I know, you know, but we got a lawyer, and we're gonna take him back to court. And for her best interest is for her being with me and my parents. That's her best interest right now. Yeah, we're gonna go to family court. I haven't got my papers in the mail yet. He got a subpoena. The court, he got served. I got served. My parents got served. So it's all of us going to court. My parents, him, and me. Yeah, I know. I gotta watch that because some people can't be recording me. Yeah, you never know. But his lawyer wouldn't want her kid at home by herself from a 3 to 11. We was never at home by ourselves until I was 15 years old. My brother Mitchell always watched me, and he was 5 years older than me. When I was in school, when I went to school and all that, my mom worked. After she was VNA, she worked for VNA. Yes, I have faith. I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about her dad or anything like that. I'm just saying that what's best for her. Yeah, I know. Oh, thank you. I just got this choker today. I really like it. I love chokers. They're my favorite. Yes, I will definitely let you know. Yes, I'll check my messages, sweetie. Hey, Angie, I'm doing great. I had a wonderful day today. It just went out sightseeing, just went to my grandpa's grave. I haven't been out there, brung flowers out there, brung flowers out to my brother's gravesite, went to my sister's gravesite, went to like 3 different parks. Cheryl Crow Park. And the sun was shining in my eye. Y'all probably seen my eye in my videos. It looks bad. Had to tilt my phone like that. But I got me some eye drops. I know most of my family's at the cemetery too. I don't have very many of my family members alive anymore. Oh, I missed you too, girl, on the live in the morning time. I haven't seen you. You been doing okay? Did you have a good Mother's Day? Yeah, it's a sad thing when most of our family is passed away and gone. They don't we don't get to spend time with them every day. Like, when I was little, I had it all. It felt like I was rich because, we had my brother. We had everything that we needed. And then he ended up passing away, and it just felt like my family fell apart. My mom, she was down, she was depressed. It really hurt her, you know. I know, girl. I'm sorry about that, Angie. Prayers, girl. I know that could be hard. I know. But I still want to say prayers. And I'm sorry that you didn't have a good Mother's Day. I went out to the river. I had a good day, but you know how my daughter's been getting on the lives and everything. Well, I didn't get to see her. Her dad wouldn't answer me and all that stuff. And I texted him like 3 days ahead of time. He was supposed to let me see her this weekend and all that stuff. And then he didn't show up. He didn't call me. He didn't answer my text. And family, she texts me. My mom texts me. But after my mom texted me, she texted me. I said, I was hoping I'd get to see you on Mother's Day, baby. She said, I know. And she told me she loved me. At least she told me she loved me. Yeah, I wanted to see her and give her all of her gifts. I got her, and I got her some clothes, and I got him my car. Thank you for the gift, Lori. Yeah, I would never do that to him on Father's Day. I'm sorry, haven't seen him in 10 years. Wow. Good evening. How are you doing, sweetie? Oh, yes, we need to go to lunch together, sweetie. And I'm 2.5 hours away from Paducah. I'm supposed to get visitations, but I haven't got to see her. He told me that he wasn't going to take me away from her and all that stuff, and then he straight up lied. My day was great. I had a wonderful day. I went out sightseeing. I went walking around the trail. Some guy asked me if I had a boyfriend. All right, girl, check and DM me. Hey, Colleen, how are you doing, sweetie? Yeah, it's supposed to be on every other weekend. Thank you for liking my choker, sweetie. I love chokers. They're my favorite. I've been great. I had a wonderful day today. Me and the neighbor's not talking anymore. He's not my type. And I had to quit talking to him. I just like moved on too quick and I didn't need to. He's not, we have no connection, no chemistry. So I want to keep it as friends. He's a nice guy. I like him, but I only like him as friends. And if he don't want to be friends, we could be acquaintances. Because it's best for me to be single until I find somebody. That was like a rush into getting to know somebody, and all that. Oh, that's good. It's been good in Philly. Yeah, I don't want to lead him on. I mean, I kissed him and stuff, but it was a mistake. And right now, being single and being alone is the best thing. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, let's be friends, sweetheart. Yeah, that's what I needed to just take care and heal. I'm just not attracted to him. There's just nothing there. There's no connection. Friends is the best way to be. There's no chemistry. There's no connection. Yes, do me, girl. You're right, Angie. And you gotta be, careful who you talk to. You gotta be safe and all that. Yes. Um. Well, he was okay. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, being safe, happy. And I'm just not happy around him. I'm happy more as a friend, and that's it. He's a nice guy, but he's just not for me. And that's the best way to think of it. It was a rush. It was something that I thought would, make me feel better, somebody that I thought I would get involved with, but just not my type. Yes, and I knew it at first, but I kept giving him chance after chance, and I thought, well, maybe he's different. I got a tuna fish sub, sweetie. Hey there, girl. How are you doing? Yes, you're right. I don't know if he's okay with it or not, but I am, and that's all that matters. And if I have to tell him again that I'm just not interested, I'm just not interested. I want to be interested in a guy, like, I want to be attracted to him, have a connection, have that chemistry, somebody that I can come home to every day, somebody that'll be there for me. Like, oh, I was on Tinder, guys, and I was just, wanting to meet friends and stuff. This girl came on there, and I thought, well, me and her could be friends. But she wanted to date me with her. She was married, wanting to mess around with me, and wanting her husband to watch. And I'm not interested in that. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, that is right, Colleen. And it's just too close, being neighbors and all that stuff. But being friends is the best thing. I know, that's what I said. Oh my. Hi there, sweetie. How are you doing, love? And it's hard to meet friends on Tinder. They think friends is friends with benefits. And that's not what I'm looking for. And then when I push long term, they just want a short term relationship. Yeah, people are strange. I couldn't believe it. I should try that. My aunt met her boyfriend or husband to be on Plenty of Fish. And I tried Plenty of Fish, but there was like 2,000 guys on there. And most of them I met this one guy named Scott from Popper Bluff. But he talked like my Aunt Bonnie. Yeah, at my age, I'm looking for something long term, not no 20 something year old. Not, I'm looking for someone like 35 to 50, you know. But if it comes around, it comes around. If someone might meet me at Walmart. I might meet someone like today. I was walking the trail, and this older man, He asked me if I had a boyfriend and wanted to walk with him. I took a picture of his dog. I videotaped his dog in one of my videos. It was so cute. Yes, this guy named Scott. Um, his wife left him. I went on a date with him. He took me to eat Mexican. He's a really sweet guy, but he just talked like my Aunt Bonnie. You know, old donut head. And I've been on dates off and on, but it's just hard. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm worried about is my child. And then before a man. You know, that's the only thing and my parents, like rekindling our relationship. Yes. Yeah, that does make sense, Angie. But there's nothing wrong why I'm focusing on my daughter, go on dates with somebody, talk to somebody, and the kids come first. They always have. Yes, it is. And the trusting. And I think I'm just going to talk to somebody like after a couple weeks. If it ain't what I like, then it's just not what I like. I don't like when someone calls me like, why didn't you answer at 3 o'clock? You didn't tell me you was calling at 3 o'clock. I could be in the shower. Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. I've got to pick someone that's good for me and my daughter. Someone that my daughter can be around, not no alcoholic or no drug head or somebody that's been, in and out of jail. Just somebody I don't want anybody bad for my daughter. Yeah, I'll find the right one at the right time. I might run into him at the grocery store. And it was so funny today. This older man, he goes, "Are you in a movie?" I said, "No, I'm making a TikTok video." He said, "Oh, I started to say it'd be a good movie with you in there." Thank you, Angie. My daughter is with her dad right now, but me and my parents were trying to get her back. She stays by herself in Popper Bluff from 3 to 11 at night, and it's just not good for her being alone. So we're trying to do the best we can. I haven't got, we all got served papers, my parents, and I did, and so did he. So, I mean, it's going to be a blessing. My daughter's 11 years old, and her dad goes to work at 3 o'clock, so she gets off the bus and goes into the house by herself into an apartment. It's only a 1 bedroom, and she stays by herself from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. at night. And I don't think it's good, but in the state of Missouri, they say a child is mature enough to stay at home by themselves. And her dad said it was okay. I said some bad stuff about my parents that I shouldn't have said, and I wish I could take it back to him, but I can't take it back. What's already said is already said, but I could change the fact, and I have. I talked to my mom, and everything was good. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's just a 1 bedroom apartment. But I understand, like, if you're going to run uptown, she doesn't want to go uptown with you. You could leave her there for a few minutes. They live beside a gas station, but leaving an 11-year-old for 8 hours, it's hard. I know, that is true. And I was upset about some stuff, and I wish I never said that about my mom and dad. That, I've said some things that I didn't mean to say. And I know it probably hurt my mom. My mom's been through a lot. She's lost 2 kids. She's lost her dad, her mom, just everybody around her. It's hard for her to trust her sisters and all that stuff, too. Well, thank you, Angie. Yeah, my mom told me she loved me. So hopefully we can start talking again. Maybe I'll text her once a week, see how she's doing. She's getting old. She's 65 years old. She'll be 66 years old this year. And you never know when you're going to lose your mom or your dad. Oh yeah, your mom passed away, sweetie. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, my grandma ended up passing away and she was in her 70s. Yeah, we only get one set of parents. And I'm sure that was hard on you for Mother's Day too, Angie. I'm sorry to hear about your dad, sweetie. Yeah, you miss talking to him every single day. Me and my mom, we used to do all kinds of stuff together. She was like one of my best friends, you know. And we would go grocery shopping together. We would go to stores together, just do everything together. Um, yes, that is true. And even like, okay, she would take me to the dentist and stuff. I had strep throat all my life, and I had to get my tonsils taken out at 17 because my throat bothered me so bad. And that could be the reason why I talk different too. And my throat bothered me so bad when I was young. I'd have to stay at home from school for a couple weeks at a time. And then I finally got my tonsils taken out at 17. I used to get sick all the time throughout the years and stay home from school because of my throat. And my mom would still take me. I'd be like, you know, you got a checkbook. I said, let's go out to eat. And she would be like, no. I was like, yes. After I got my tonsils removed, I got 3 dozen roses. And it made me feel so good. No, I didn't. I know, Josh brung that up. He said, get off the rugs. He goes, get your life together. Real hateful instead of being by my side. But no, I've never been on substances except smoking marijuana. That's all I've ever done. And there is nothing wrong with it. You know, and that's all that was wrong with. I mean, I smoke THC due to my leg. I broke my leg in 2017, and I just do it every now and then. I don't do it very much, and everybody knows about it. But I've had, you know, when you smoke a little bit of THC, you're just overly happy. Oh yeah, I used to smoke Marble Lights, but now I'm vaping, and I quit smoking cigarettes in 2003. Yeah, your past is your past. You got to let it go and move forward. I know. That was so funny about the dwarf answers. Well, I made my TikTok, my last TikTok, the Subway Queen. I made it about marriage. Me and Josh was supposed to get married, but he gaslighted me. He said he wanted to be with me, and then he'd say he don't want to be with me. Just like in my bedroom, he put always and forever, and in my bathroom, he wrote my end babies and all that stuff, and tore up my bathroom and things like that. So it's been a little hard. Yeah, it's hard to quit vaping, girl. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. But I want to let everything go from the past and just move forward to the future, you know. We've been talking about the past for the last couple of years, I mean, couple of weeks. Yeah, we can't help who we love and who we care about, and we want them to do better in their life and not be disappointed in them. And, you know, just want the best for them and their kids. Like, that's all I ever wanted was the best for him and his kids. And I stood by him through thick and thin. And every time I needed him and needed help, he would put me down, call me names, and call me a stupid bee, treat me bad, slap, choke, hit, but I still loved them. Yeah, just move forward. That's the best thing. Yes, that is right, Colleen. Hi there, sweetie. Thanks for saying you're sorry, sweetie. Yeah, I'm much more peaceful. I'm much happier. And I'm happier with myself. And I don't want to get haunted with the past. Just like I seen an old friend of mine, and I helped her out through thick and thin. I gave her a job. I let her borrow $3,500. Her electric was out. I was worried about her kid because she had a black eye. She was getting beat up at home by her fiance. And then I helped her out. But when I needed help, she was nowhere to be found. I asked her for help. I asked her for a ride. She couldn't even give me a ride. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, it doesn't determine my future. Maybe one day I'll meet someone that stands beside me, someone that I could trust, someone that won't hurt me physically, emotionally, or financially. You're right, Colleen. That is true, girl. Thank you for the heart, me, sweetie. I don't need no one put me down and saying, get off the rugs and get your life together when you don't know about my life and you don't know what you knew what I've been through with you. He knew what he put me through, and that's what hurt. Physically abusing me. He should have said, "Hey, she's been through enough." And he let other girls make fun of me, put me down. And these girls was depressive women. But why put another woman down? If you're depressed, don't put another woman down. Yes. Like, I couldn't believe it when the police officer came here on 420. He goes, get off the rugs, get your life together. And that was very hateful and very rude because I wasn't on no rugs. I was just smoking marijuana because it was 420. And who doesn't do that on 420? Yes, and that is true. That is so true. Yes, it is the day to celebrate. Yes, I'll read it when I get off my live, sweetie. Thank you for the gift, sweetie. Thank you for the gift rose, hon. But we can't help who we love. No matter if they physically abuse us, mentally abuse us, any kind of abuse you can think of, I went through with him. And we can't help that we love them, but we wish they would change. We want the best for them and their family. And I wanted the best for him and his family, so I didn't press charges. He hit me in the head with a paint can and tore up my bathroom, tore up my room, tore up my living room. And the lady said I could have pressed charges, but I was so worried about his kids, I didn't press charges on him. And it was traumatizing. Very toxic. Like that Savannah song. Thank you, Colleen. I wish I could go back and I could change everything, but I can't go back and change everything. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm not really hungry after I ate Subway. I made me a bacon omelet this morning. I might just, after I get off here, I might just watch Dateline. I'm glad you've been following my story, sweetie. I'm happy for that. But everything's working my way so far. Ew. Cheesesteak sounds good. That's how I felt after I ate that bag of chips and that tuna fish sandwich. Yes, I've learned a lot from my past. I don't want my girls to go through what I went through. I don't want my daughters to go through the hurt, the pain, the heartache, and the bullying. I'm doing better. Thank you for asking, sweetie. Oh, you're going to take a nap? Well, I'll talk to you later, girl. Yes, I'm doing so much better every single day. Just feeling better. Thank you for the gift, sweetie. And I'm just feeling good. Thank you, Angie. Yeah, ever since that day, like 420, like I didn't want him calling me names. I said it was nice to hear your voice. I talked to him like an adult. I didn't accuse him of doing anything, but everything I said was the truth, you know. And I was like, it's nice to hear your voice. And then he said, get your life together. That was hateful, disrespectful, and rude. Thank you, sweetie. But right now, I'm just working on myself. I jumped into a relationship a couple weeks ago. It wasn't really a relationship, it was just talking to somebody, and I wish I never did that. Thank you, Sarah. I wish I never jumped into talking to him. That was a mistake. But it was fun making a pasta and stuff. The only reason why it was a mistake, he's a nice guy. But there was no connection, no chemistry, nothing like I see myself being with that person for the rest of my life. Yes. And healing first is the best thing. I know it's just hard to date lately. Like, I guess, the first impression, I don't want to go off the first impression, but, I went off the first impression of my neighbor and I didn't like it. I liked him as more like a friend or like a neighbor acquaintance, but I wasn't attracted to him. He's just not my type. And that's putting that nicely. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I enjoyed cooking with him, enjoyed eating with him, but other than that, I know that's like me calling. I've like every time that I'd break up with my ex fiance, I would go on dates with people that I knew from the past, and dates with people I knew online. I went on a Facebook dating app, but the guy didn't have his life together. He didn't have his tags on his vehicle. He gambled all of his money away, and he was just didn't have wasn't good for my daughters. But I mean, he was okay, but I didn't like the way he didn't save money or anything like that. Yeah, that's the way I feel, Colleen. I mean, I'm 41 years old and I'm fine by myself and I have fun by myself. I love going sightseeing. I love doing stuff like that. I love meeting new people. Sometimes if I'm at the park, I'll meet somebody new and hear about their issues and their problems with their husband or their wife, and they'll talk to me. But today, an older man, he goes, do you have a boyfriend? Are you making a movie? And I was like, no, I'm making a TikTok video. So I got his dog in one of my videos. I took a picture of his dog, well, videotaped his dog in one of the videos. And it was so sweet. He goes, he was an older man. He goes, are you making a video? He wanted me to walk with him. He wanted, and he was just a sweet guy, but I wasn't attracted to him. And he was an older man, and he just, but he was a nice guy. He was nice. And he told me that he was single, that he was looking for somebody, and he was kind of interested in me, but I wasn't interested in him. And that happens. Thank you. But I have been on a lot of dates this past 5 years because every time me and him split up, I start talking to somebody else. And like this one guy, Kyle, I talked to him and it just didn't work out. Yeah, it is nice to know. Maybe, I like meeting someone in person. I'm not on Tinder or on the dating sites because it just never works out. Like I talked to this one guy I met off the internet, and he told me he was a one woman man, and me and him we was talking from October until January, and I was like, he's okay. Yeah, he was on Facebook, and he found me on Facebook, and we started talking, and then I was just like, he's not my type. He's too short, not attractive. It's just not going to work out. And you just know it. But I kept talking to him for a few months. And then I have a friend of mine, Damon. And we always end up talking. We've been friends since I was like 9 years old. But he's just not a relationship, for me. He's had problems in his past. But will always be my friend. You have a good night too, Colleen. Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it, hon. Got me a sweet tea at McDonald's. Been drinking caffeine all day. I made so many videos today, guys, of my trip. Just having a good time. And Kentucky, it's only a couple hours away from me. Paducah, Kentucky. I might go there this weekend if I don't get to see my daughter. I like ribeye steaks. I deserve someone to take me out for a ribeye steak. I had to send my daughter a message. Good evening. How are you doing, sweetie? I seen her a couple of weeks ago. He was supposed to let me see her for Mother's Day. I know, you're right, girl. I just texted her and told her good night, though. I'm doing great. Had a wonderful day today. I posted like a bunch of videos of everything that I done. I went to several parks. We just went out sightseeing. Went to my grandpa's grave. I haven't went out there, changed the flowers out. I had to put new flowers out there. My mom already I put some flowers at my brother's grave. Went to my sister's. And just enjoyed the time at the parks. I went to Sheryl Crow Park, Mark Twain Park, the Millers Park, Martha Luther King Park. Yes, you definitely have to watch the videos and like them. I took the comments off there for right now because my eyes a little bit messed up and I didn't want the negativity. Yes, I did go park hopping today. You know, I just enjoyed myself. The scenery, and I got to go to Campbell, and that's my hometown, Campbell, Missouri. And I haven't been there in a long time, in about 3 years. And I haven't been able to bring flowers out there because my finances was bad at the time, but now I'm able to do things like that. Bring flowers out there, send flowers to my mom. I'm able to do things that I haven't done in 3 years that I wish I would have got to do sooner. But, now that I'm able to do that, it's just wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to go places and do things. Last year I lost my car. My neighbor, Tommy Grant, stole my vehicle, my truck, but I didn't put a police report out on it. Thank you for the follow, sweetie. Oh, I will pray for Robert. He has bone cancer. I will definitely pray for him. Yes, I am lucky. Today I went and got me the shirt. I got a dress. I just didn't report it stolen. I let him borrow my truck, my neighbor, and the next thing I know, his house was for sale and my truck was gone. That's what I get for letting someone borrow it. And then my car before that, I let my fiance drive it, and then the head gaskets got blown up. He messed up the seat. He tore my vehicle up and didn't pay for the damages. So now that I got my new vehicle and it's paid off, I'm not letting no one drive it. Hey there, Kyra. How are you doing, sweetie? Yeah, I'm not letting anybody drive my new vehicle. I got it paid off at the 2021, and it was a blessing, you know, and it was just the car that I wanted. Oh, what are you making for dinner? You're making dinner? You're not going to get it? I'm still full from earlier. I've been late night stacking and all that stuff. Oh, that sounds delicious. Chicken parmesan. It makes me want to go to Olive Garden. Yes. Chicken Caesar salad. I love Caesar salad. Hamburger casserole. Yummy. Sounds delicious. Sounds great, guys. I just got done eating not too long ago. Oh, I know. It's nice outside. I love it. I love this weather. And I could wear shorts, I could wear a skirt. I know. It was delicious. I loved it. I don't have Instagram. Sorry, sweetie. And I got to see the workers. I haven't seen them in a while, in a couple months or a month. Oh, yummy fried chicken. Sounds delicious. Thank you. I got the tuna fish sandwich with a bag of jalapeno chips and a sweet tea. I mean, a Dr. Pepper. I tried the sweet tea, didn't really care for it. Oh, I didn't work at the one in Malden, but I was just a regular customer. They know who I am. I used to be the manager at Marston, Missouri, and I loved it being the manager. I started there in 2019, and I quit in 2023 before I got diagnosed with being bipolar. And I quit then, and then became a phone operator. And I've been a phone operator since 2025, and I miss doing that too. I did that for 2 years, had a wonderful job until someone started hacking into my phone and ruining my phone conversations. My day went great. Thanks for asking. How did your day go, babe? Thank you, sweetie. Oh, I bet you are glad to be home. Yes, I got to put flowers out. I went to my brother's gravestone, went to my sister's, went to my grandpa's and my grandma's and my Uncle James, and just had a wonderful day. And I haven't got to do that in 3 years because finances. Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Now I haven't had my glasses delivered. I might have to buy me some new ones. I'm not really worried about them. It was my fault. I shouldn't have left them over there. Yes, that meant a lot to me. And I am so glad, it doesn't matter, which I talked to him at yesterday and everything went good. I mean, he's a nice guy, but, other than that, just good as a neighbor, and that's it. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Yeah, I might just ask for my glasses back then. I'm not really worried about them. I left them over at the neighbor's house on the coffee table. I wish I didn't leave them over there. Yeah, I need to get them back. But that's okay if I don't, guys, because I can buy me another pair and I'll be just fine with that. Yes, I definitely need them. But I got my contacts in now. I lost my glasses before. I left them at Michigan, and my contacts, and some of my clothes, my laundry baskets, and I never got them back. Now I'm not talking to him anymore. We're better as friends. There's just no chemistry, no connection. There's just nothing there. I like him as a person, and that's it. I like him as a friend or acquaintance. I'm not gonna move on too quick again. I moved on too fast, and it wasn't a good thing. I should have got to know him a little bit better before I kissed him. My trip was so good, girl. I just enjoyed my time. I went out to see my brother's gravestone and got to bring flowers out there, and things like that. I haven't been out there in 3 years. My mom asked me to go out there with her on his birthday. And, I didn't have the money for the flowers or anything like that because finances wasn't good then. But now everything's good that I can bring flowers out there. And I got a good deal on the flowers today. Thank you, sweetie. Yes. There was just no connection there in the kiss. There was no chemistry. There was just nothing there, you know? And that's when you know you're better off as friends. And I'm glad that I didn't lead them on or, anything like that. It's better to tell, and I don't like certain things that he likes, and I let him know, like, hey, I don't like that, and, I want somebody that clicks with me, somebody that has that connection. Yes, he does live directly next door. Yes, guys, I'm glad that I realized it early, Kyra. You know, and that makes me feel good before it got serious. And I'm glad we started out as friends, but there's just a lot of things that, that just wasn't something that I liked. And when you got that connection and you don't. I did that before when me and my fiance broke up. I dated this guy named David, but he didn't have tags on his vehicle, and he was supposed to fix up my house, the damages that my fiance done. And he would always lie about things. And I knew him for a year, but there was just nothing there, and we was better off as friends. And he told me, he goes, I'm going to marry you, girl. He said, I'm going to marry you, girl. That's how he talked. He goes, I'm going to marry you, girl. Right when the first day I met him, me and my fiance, we split up. So I started talking to this guy named David. And he took me to get a frappe. He was just fun to hang out with. We had a lot of fun hanging out with each other. Yeah, send me a picture of the necklace you got, girl. And then when I first met him, he goes, I'm going to marry you, girl. And he was the funniest guy. I'm going to look at your necklace, girl. He was so funny. And I known him for a year, and I still like him, David, and he was just a friend of mine, but I don't know how to get a hold of him. I don't have his new number. I don't have his number, and he lives close by. I met him on Facebook dating, and he even agreed that we was just friends. Last time we had pizza together, we had a really good time, but I had to let him down and tell him that I didn't want to marry him. He just didn't have he worked at Big River Steel, it's a good, but he would spend all his money gambling. No, I'm not going to hang out with Ricky no more, just as friends if we do hang out. Because, chemistry, the connection's not there. Just better as friends. Oh, that's a pretty necklace. Yes, he did get my amazing cooking, and I spent a lot of money on that food. I got a big salad. He ate it twice in a row, and that was good doing that as a friend. It was just friends. Friends is all we'll ever be. you know. And I seen him yesterday. I should have asked him for my glasses then. You know, I seen him for a minute yesterday. Did you watch me cook it? Yeah, I put shrimp, a chicken in it, made fried potatoes, made the salad. I like to throw down in the kitchen. I love to cook no matter what it is. And I just enjoy it, but I don't like to cook for myself. So I'm glad I got to cook for him at least and let him try my food and, just become friends with him. And he bought me pizza, and that was really sweet. Kind of returned the favor, you know. Hey there, girl. How are you doing this afternoon? I'm glad that you do. I'm glad that you come in here, sweetie, and chat. Yeah, I can still cook for a friend. Oh, yummy. Chipotle. Yeah, I had that on my sandwich today at Subway. I had ranch dressing, Southwest sauce, Chipotle. It was so good. Very delicious. I gotta stand up for a little bit. I'll be right back, guys. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I gotta stand up a little bit. Them girls, the Bud Light label, on a pool table. Oh, great. What are you making? Let's go. Oh, that's awesome. You got the matching belt, too? Ooh, chicken parmesan. Yes, I should. Yeah, it would look good with a belt. Yes, I know. Them girls. Putting down. Party. Girls that got your number. Just one, yeah. Just one, yeah. I love McDonald's sweet tea. It is so delicious. I need to go out and play pool. That's where to meet somebody. I love Dr. Pepper. Mountain Dew is my first choice. And then it's Dr. Pepper and it's Coke. You know. I like Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke used to be my favorite soda. Mr. Pibb. Girls, what's your number? You know, guys, I'm almost up to 7,000 followers. I need 250 more followers. Yes, I love kind of upbeat music. I love country music. Hey there, sweetie. How are you doing? Everything we said that we said. Me that you wish I was somebody you never met. I'm doing great. I had a wonderful day today. I know Morgan Wallen. I want to go to one of his concerts, guys. Yeah, I know you was time. Remember everything we said that we said it all. Oh, did y'all see him? That's awesome. Yeah, send me some pictures. That's awesome. You went and saw him. I need to go. I would like to go to Nashville. I've never been there before, to Nashville, Tennessee. I need to go there sightseeing. I don't know how far it is away from me. There's a lot of places I would like to go to. I like to take pictures of old things, take videos of where I go to and what I do, because that's just making memories. You know, and putting them on my TikTok, just making all kinds of memories. I love it. Oh, you're 2 hours from in. That's awesome. You're 2 hours from Nashville. Hi there, Glenda. How are you doing, sweet thing? I'm glad that you joined in. This ain't over yet. Oh, nice. You're meal prepping? Thank you, sweetie. Back again. Baby, something tell me this ain't over yet. It was the last night. Thank you, sweetie. I don't have Snapchat. I know my daughters do, but I've never really got into it. I used to eat a salad every day, and put it on Snapchat when I was a manager at Subway. I was trying to lose weight. I started Subway, and I was like 160 pounds. Yeah, I probably need to download it, but I just haven't yet. Darling, I need you now. Imagine calling someone that you helped out, you know, saying, hey, I need you, and then they're never there for you. You know, that was hurtful. You know, every time they needed me, I'd take off work, and this goes with friends and family. You know, I'd take off work to do everything that they wanted me to do, and then when I needed them to take off work, they was never there for me. And set me up at Buffalo Wild Wings, told me they was going to pay for my food, do all this nice stuff for me, and then I show up and they're nowhere to be found. So it's hard to trust somebody. Thanks for liking the live, sweetie. Yes, it is hard to get out there and trust somebody nowadays. I've been stabbed in the back a million times by friends, and exes, like my ex-fiance. He has stabbed me in the back more than anybody in this world. And I just couldn't believe it. Hey there, sweetie. How are you doing, Tammy? Glad you joined in. I don't know. I haven't looked that up yet from North Carolina. I got to look it up. I've never been there before, but I've been to South Carolina. My brother was stationed in the Army at Jackson. Oh, nice. I don't know how far away I am from there. I know it's like, I have to look up. I'll just have to look it up. Have to start drinking water now. I've been drinking caffeine all day today, guys. Thank you so much, sweetie. Oh, yeah, I would love to go to the mountains. Yes, I had a beautiful day. I did some things that I haven't done in 3 years that I haven't got to do. And I made videos of all that. Yes, that's like me. I done drank Dr. Pepper tea, slushes. I definitely will check it out, sweetie. I love going to Branson and then just driving up there checking the scenery, but I don't want to drive that far. I haven't been there since my daughter was a couple years old. My cousin got married, and he married a guy from Branson and fell in love with that guy. And he asked me to go to their wedding, but I wasn't able to make it. Oh, you got to work tomorrow? All right, girl, I'll look at them. Thanks for sending them to me. Yeah, I used to live in Branson, Missouri. I lived at Fall Creek Resort. I was an interior painter. Yeah, I lived there for 7 years. And I had a fiance there. And he was the sweetest guy I've ever met in my life. Would always stand up for me no matter what. Just be there for me. Oh no, I went to the fair at Kennett though. I didn't watch the Derby. But I see they had that going on. I thought, well, that's cool, but I didn't stay long enough for it to go on. What happened with my fiance? I just wasn't attracted to him. He looked like Matthew Broderick. He was too short, too big. I'm not interested in short, big guys, if that makes any sense. Oh, you was there? I wish I would have ran into you, girl. What time did you get there? I got there about 5 o'clock. I'm doing great. Yes. Oh, did you send me a DM? I did not see it. I should have looked at it. Pocahontas, Arkansas. Wow, we're close. I'm in Blytheville. Hey there, how are you doing, sweetie? Ohio, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing the live, sweetie. Oh, I have Skittles cupcake. And I got the strawberry burst. But, thank you, sweetie. I got this today. I love chokers. Yes, I went to my brother's grave. I went to my sister's, my grandmother's, and my grandfather. And I made videos out there. But I took the comments off the videos because I didn't want no negativity. No bad words or anything like that. Yes, this is a great song. Yeah, I didn't like the Strawberry Bee Burst. You know, it tastes like a menthol cigarette. Yes, that did. I had a wonderful day. I haven't been out there in 3 years. You know, last time I was going to go out there, my mom asked me, but I wasn't able to. I always like going to grave sites and bringing flowers out there. Oh, yeah, I got to try the blueberry. Oh, I definitely will let you know, Kim, next time. I went there today. I went to the Sheryl Crow part. Thank you, sweetie. Today, Lisa, I went to parks, and I went to the cemetery, to my brother's grave, went to my sister's grave, and I took out the flowers at my grandfather and my grandmother's grave, and my Uncle James, put new flowers in there. They didn't have new flowers. You know, nobody really goes out to my grandparents' grave but me and changes the flowers. My brother was 19. He passed away in a car accident, and been really hard on my mom. And my sister passed away a crib death, and my grandfather, he passed away. He was diabetic, and my grandmother passed away in Poplar Bluff Hospital. And it wasn't a good hospital. I don't recommend Poplar Bluff Hospital. That's why I'm glad I'm out of there. I'm sorry to hear about that, Lisa. Prayers, girl. I know it's hard. My sister passed away of crib death, and it was hard on my mom. My mom and dad got married when they was 15 and 16 years old. They had been married for 50 years. Me and my brother Mitchell was supposed to have like an anniversary party for them at the Legion, but we never got to do that. You know, and I could have done a lot of that stuff a couple of years ago. Oh, yeah, I'm getting along with my mom. Me and my mom are talking, so that's good. Oh, that's awesome. You got the same name as my brothers, or your brothers got the same name as my brothers. Oh, no, that's not weird. I was dating a cop, and I broke it off of him, and he wrote a letter to my brother, and he left it at the cemetery. Yeah, my parents have been together for 50 years and going. You know, they're 65 years old. They've been together ever since they was 14 years old. They got married when they was 15 and 16 years old. And my brother Mitchell, he got married when he was 17 to the love of his life. And then he ended up getting a divorce. And I think it's good that someone could have a marriage like my parents. There's not very many people that's still married out there. Yes. You know, I've never been married before because I just, you know, I don't want to just, if I don't like the situation I'm in, I just don't want to marry you. Like, thank you. I hope you have a good evening too, sweetie. Oh, that's awesome. My great grandma, she was in there playing with her Barbies at the age of 13, and she had to go and get married to a 36-year-old man back in the day. She had 14 kids. She lost most of her kids before she ended up passing away. She passed away in 1999. Right after my brother passed away, my great grandma passed away, and she told me a story. She was like, Amber, don't ever settle for less, you know. She goes, I didn't want to go, you know. She goes, I was just 13 years old playing with my Barbies, and my mom said, you got to leave with a 36-year-old man. So back in the day, they did things different. And she lost her husband. She lost most of her kids. She had 2 living kids when she passed away, and that was hard. The kids that was living was my grandma and her other son. She's only got 1 living son right now. So can you imagine getting married when you're 13 years old to a 36-year-old man? And your mom telling you to go with him? Yeah, that is crazy. She goes, don't ever let anybody force you to get married. She lost her daughter. She told her daughter not to go somewhere, and it was prom night. And she ended up losing her daughter. Yes. Remember that show 90 Day Fiance? Like you don't see them, but you just talk to them, and then you end up getting married to them. I don't think I could do that. Or somebody that you never met in person, that you end up marrying them. Like my mom, she told me she was her and my dad. They was together when they was 14 years old, and she went and asked her dad. She goes, "Can I marry Mitchell?" And he said yes. It was so sweet. Like my cousin Dustin, you know, when we was little, you will know if somebody's bisexual or somebody's gay. Like I always knew that he was gay. He dated girls in the past. Like you always know, like I've been with women before. I've been with a couple women before, like four or 5 women before, and I guess you would consider that bisexual. I'm not sure, but my cousin Dustin, I watched him all the time. When he was little, I knew that he was gay, and he finally met the love of his life at Branson. Looks just like Pee Wee Herman. But I'm so glad he got married to the love of his life. And it's so strange, like a lot of people didn't think he was gay, but I knew it. I used to take him tanning with me. He was 15 years old. Yeah, I think good for him, meeting the love of your life, and that was just congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, I like this shirt. I got it at Factory Connection there in Malden, Missouri, earlier. And I was like, it would just look cute. I thought if I couldn't wear it, then my daughter could. She wears a size small. Yes. I think he kind of hid it a little bit until he turned, and then he told his mom when he was 18. He ended up getting married when he was 20. He asked me to go to his wedding, but my daughter's dad, he was one of my fiancés at the time, and he was a control freak. I couldn't put my hands in my pocket. He would say, "Get your hands out of your pocket." I couldn't talk to my friends, Tracy and several other friends. He didn't like it. Now him and Tracy are friends, and I'm not talking to Tracy. But he would just be controlling. And me and him was together for about 7 years, 5 to 7 years, off and on. And we got a beautiful little girl together, but he lies all the time. He's constantly lying. He tore up my dad's truck, tore up my car, and, didn't want to see me wear makeup, didn't want to see me feel beautiful, just be happy. Didn't want to see me wearing certain kind of clothes, certain kind of makeup. So, I've been going through it with guys since I've been young, and that's the kind of person I don't want to marry. Oh, I had a wedding ring. He got me a wedding ring at Kay's Jewelry. And he would always think I was trying to hide my ring. And he ripped off my ring and just crazy stuff. He was just overbearing, controlling. And he snorted narcotics. And he done it around his son. That's why he don't see his first son. And I guess maybe it was because of the narcotics. I'm not sure. Yes, I had been put through a ringer and back. Like, guys get so jealous. Like, I got guy friends that I'm still going to talk to them for the rest of my life. You know, and I miss talking to some of my guy friends. I forgot about one of my guy friends is from Kennett, Missouri. I got to reach out to him and talk to him. Yes. When you've been through it so much, like with my daughter's dad, he was so controlling. He was like, don't put your hand in your pocket. And some guys would talk to me, he would talk to them bad. And, you know, just because a guy says, hey, you're pretty or you're a sweet girl, he would get so mad about it. He wouldn't let me put on my makeup. I had to bring my makeup to work and hide it in my locker and put my makeup on before work. And that's what my fiance did at the time. I thought, wow. But I had one perfect fiance. All right. I hope you have a great day, sweetie. Yes, that is crazy. Yes, he was very insecure. And that's why he hasn't found nobody yet. He hasn't found nobody since me and him broke up. We broke up in 2021. And I felt so much relief. I felt free. I felt so happy to get away from him. You know, I just felt like, oh my gosh, I felt so relieved, so happy. Like actually, you know, I got my freedom again. Me and the kids was reading the Bible every day after school. I had custody of my niece, and me and her and my daughters, we would read Bible verses together. Just enjoy the day. Yes, I don't want to be controlled. Like saying, I don't like your voice, talk different. Or I don't like the way you act. Well, that's the way I'm always going to act. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. Like, you shouldn't have someone tell you what to do or say, don't talk like that. You know, don't do that, don't do this. I like to joke around a lot, you know, just have a lot of fun. People take that. Like me and my brother Chris, we're just so straightforward. We always have been. If we don't like someone, we don't like them. Or we don't like the way they act, we tell them. How long was I with my daughters then? I was with them for almost 7 years, off and on. I kicked him out of my house several times because I didn't like the way he treated my daughter, Paris, that's 18. He didn't treat her right, you know. And you got to treat, you know, he was jealous of my daughter's dad. You can't be jealous of an ex. An ex is an ex for a reason. You know, you always ask yourself, why would you take them back? Just like an old employee. You know, I never hired anybody back when I was a manager because you always ask yourself, why would I hire them back? The same reason why they quit, they're just going to quit again. Yes, nobody should ever be controlled, like when to go to bed, told what to do, and say, shut up, you stupid bee, you know, and talk to me like that. That was very disrespectful. Yes, I have never brought back anybody that I have fired or that has quit on me. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I've been going through it since I met my daughter's dad. The mental abuse, emotional abuse, and then we broke up. And then I ended up getting with someone else, and he asked me to marry him. And I said yes. And then he did the same thing, you know. He was just jealous. You can't be jealous of somebody. Why mess up something good for a one night stand? You've been married 21 years? That's awesome. Sounds like a great guy. That's the way my dad was to my mom. He never disrespected her, treated her right, was just always there for us kids. After he would come home from work and just eat and go to sleep most of the time, but he would work for us, and that was a good thing. I'm doing great. How are you doing, Chloe? Nice of you to join in. Oh, that is great that he is respectful to you. That's the main thing. And that's what I'm looking for when I do find me a guy. I'm looking for someone that takes up for me, respects me as a woman. Imagine losing your daughter in a car accident and then treating a woman that you love bad. Would you treat your daughter like that if she was 20 years old today? Would you treat your daughter or your mama like that? Then don't treat me like that. And you know, his daughter passed away, and he treats all women bad. You know, what if your daughter was grown up around that? You know, I don't think that would be good, choking and hitting and slapping a woman, calling them names, putting them down, and all that stuff. You know, what if his daughter was 20 years, she's 20 years old today, but she passed away. Imagine her going through that. If he's gonna beat me, he would beat his daughter. That was if she was alive. So thank God, you know, you've been happily married for 20 years. That's awesome. I think don't treat your significant other bad. You know, if you wouldn't treat your daughter that way or your mother that way, don't treat somebody that you're seeing bad and hit them and cuss them out and treat them bad. Because what if your daughter was still living and she would be 20 years old today? Would you slap her in the face? Would you hit her? Would you call her a stupid bee? No, you would not. And that is true. It shows what kind of father he would be. Not a very good one to his daughter if he could treat women like that. Yeah, that is true. I gave him several chances after he put his hands on me, my ex fiance. He would slap me, you know, choke me. He almost killed me. It was so sad. And I still took him back after that. So I'm not going to go through the same thing that I went through before in the past. You know, I want somebody that's going to be there for me. And then when they make a mistake, not blame me for their mistake and fix the problems. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I have gained like quite a bit of weight. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Glenda. And you know, I will warn my daughters about it when they get older, and then they, you know, learn and you know, when they're dating someone, never let a man treat you bad. Never let a man choose another woman over you and say, you cheated on me, so why say that woman didn't do nothing? That woman knew that we was together. Like this girl named Rayanna Morris. You know, she's from Risco, Missouri. And she cheated with my ex. And he goes, oh, she didn't do nothing. Well, she knew that we was together. And she was a guard at the power plant, and they was messing around behind my back on the airport road and talking and calling each other and, you know, being more than friends while I was at home slaving in the kitchen, being a mom, taking care of him, his every needs and wants. He was out messing with her instead of coming home and being a good husband or a good fiance. And I've never been cheated on in my life except by my ex-fiance. He's cheated more than anybody's cheated a checkerboard. I've never seen someone cheat so much. And I put up with it. You know, I should have never put up with that. Should have never been in that situation. I wish, and I don't know why I was cheated on because I worked 16-hour shifts. And I went home and was a mom. I was a manager. did everything I could for my kids, and then I had to worry about him cheating on me or giving me an STD. Oh no, I didn't cut my hair, sweetie. I cut it like in March, a couple of months ago. Yes, that's what I think. Yeah, I allowed him to hit me because I loved him. I allowed him to punch holes in my wall, tear up my bathroom, and then I still took him back. Write racial slurs on my wall, and then gaslight me in the bedroom. Write "Love you always and forever." Tear up my car. Um, Put down my kids, and never apologize. Say his son was prettier than my daughter. Say hateful things, and just knowing that he'd do that to a woman, knowing if his daughter was still alive, what would he do to her? Slap her, hit her, choke her? Would he do that to his mama? And he griped about his mama getting beat when he was little. He said that his stepdad used to hit it on his mom. Then why hit on me? And never apologized, never fixed the problem, just ran away from the problem, ran 8 hours away to Michigan, and then left me in Michigan instead of helping me. When I need your help, I bent over backwards for you through thick and thin. Why can't you help me? Stood by him in court, stood by him more than his parents did, more than his family did. And I got treated wrong. Yeah, that is true. I do got it too. It's just hard to trust somebody these days. Put some eye drops in this. Yeah, that is true. Thank you so much. I was kind of a tomboy when I was younger. I didn't wear much makeup at all. I had short hair. And one time I had a perm. I didn't really like the perm that I had. Well, thank you. That's a good thing. I wish my eye wasn't bothering me. This has never happened before in my life. I've never had pink eye. I've never had any problems with my eyes, just needing glasses, and having stigmatism in one eye. But I've never had this pain in this eye. No, I haven't got my glasses back yet. I'm thinking about just I got my contacts in though. So that is a good thing. I'm thinking about just going to the eye doctor, get me a new pair of glasses. It's happened before. I left my glasses and my contacts at Michigan. And I couldn't see for about 4 months until I got to the eye doctor. He never sent them to me in the mail, never cared about giving me my glasses where I can see and my contacts. And I left clothes there, laundry baskets. I never got them back, but that's okay. If I don't get my glasses back, I can buy me a new pair. I'm not worried about them. Yeah, these glasses cost me $120, which is not bad. I got them from Successful Vision in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. But I got 6 months worth of contacts, so that's a good thing. Oh, I've been to Niles, Michigan, Sisters Lake. I've been there, and it was beautiful at Sisters Lake. There was great Mexican food. I just enjoyed my time up there. And I met a good friend of mine. Okay, I will, Glenda. If it doesn't get better in the next couple of days, then I'll go to Walmart eye doctor. Because it's kind of painful to close my eye. I definitely will do that, Glenda. Definitely need to. Yeah, I got the allergy drops. Yeah, I got allergy medicine from the doctor too. I got a Z pack and some cough medicine, so that was good. Oh, that's awesome. You could probably see in some of my videos how my eye is. It makes me look older too because it's messing up with my face. It makes me look a lot older. Yeah, it is worse on one side. Yeah, I need to get me some tea tomorrow. I got the cheese that I needed from Walmart. I just need to go out and get me some tea tomorrow and get me some ham because I'm going to make hot ham and cheese sandwiches. I think that sounds delicious. I love grilled cheeses, but I like hot ham and cheese sandwiches too. I love those, especially from Hardee's, the hot ham and cheese Swiss sandwiches. They are so good. Yes, I love Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese used to be my favorite cheese. They used to have it at Subway. Some of the Subways still had it. If I seen it on my order slip, I would order the Swiss cheese. They used to have it with a Reuben sandwich. It was so good. But I didn't like the Reuben meat. But I do love the Swiss cheese. I've tried every Subway sandwich there is. They even had a rib sandwich, you know. Thank you, Queen. You're awesome. But yeah, I love Subway. I mean, I miss working there every day. If they was hiring around here, I would put my application in there for just a couple of days a week. Hey there, I'm doing great. Got to experience a good day today. Got to go out and just enjoy myself. Oh, yeah. At the first Subway I worked at when I was 15 years old, I worked at Subway in Pickett, Arkansas. It was called Jones's Mark, which had changed a lot. And I worked there overnights, and we had a pizza pro, and I would make the dough and all that stuff. Yes, I did deserve it. I mean, I enjoy it. Oh my God, I am so thankful. I thank God every day that I got a car. I went and washed my car. Went and bought me a dress, which y'all see it on my videos. And went and got this new choker, and that was awesome. Went and bought some flowers for the gravestone. I haven't done that in 3 years. And it was just nice. It's always nice to go out. Yes, I needed this day so much. And y'all can see all the videos I made. And I even got asked out going for a walk. This guy asked me, he goes, "Are you making a movie?" And he goes, "I bet it's going to be pretty good." And I said, "No, I'm making a TikTok video." I can't believe he asked me if I was making a movie. And then he had a cute little dog there, and I put it in the video. His dog, I got to pet his dog. His dog liked me. And he was just a sweet guy, but he wasn't my type, So he asked me to walk the trail with him, and I thought that was so sweet. I love walking trails. Like my first fiance, we used to walk trails together. We would walk around the Tanger Mall, Red Roof Mall, Branson Landing. And I love just getting out of the house with somebody. Oh, yeah, I don't want that guy from Sonic either. He sent me a picture of his private, and I blocked him. You know, yeah, he took me out to eat. And then he knew that we didn't click or anything like that. There was no connection, no chemistry between me and him. But after Sonic, he did take me out to eat for a hamburger at Cream Castle. That's what it's called. And then he sent me a picture. And I said, "No way, He said, "If you don't want to be with me, maybe you could use this picture." And I was like, "I don't want a picture of that." No, thank you. And then I blocked him. So me and him's probably never going to see each other again. We might see each other around Blytheville, but I don't think we're ever going to talk again. I just couldn't believe it. It was something I did not want to see. I thought it was disrespectful. Showing me a picture of that. I know we're in our 40s. I'm 41 years old, and it's typical. I might see him at Sonic. I got to be careful going up there. I might run into him. Hey there, girl. How are you doing? I'm from Arkansas. I'm doing great this evening. I had a wonderful day today. Just enjoyed my day. I enjoyed it so much. I made some videos on the train at Campbell. I went to the basketball court at Campbell, Missouri. I just had a wonderful time at Campbell. And I needed it. And then I went to Malden. I went and sightseeing at all the parks. Yes. I have gained some weight. I'm not walking anymore, so I got my car paid for and all that stuff. So that's awesome. You live in Missouri? That's awesome. You probably know where Campbell, Missouri is. I haven't been there in years. It felt so good to go there. I haven't been there in about 3 years. Unless I was moving stuff from there. My parents sold our house that we grew up in. And I wish I had the money to buy it at the time. I went by there, drove by there, and it's good to drive by your childhood house. It was just sweet. It was just a great day, all the way around. And it's good they go out there and do that instead of being controlled. Like, no, you can't go to Graceland. You can't go here. You can't do that. Yes, I will. Watch me, because I've never been there. And I'm going to go there whether you like it or not. Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, hopefully tonight, this eye's doing a little bit better, so that's good. I didn't get my ocean water fixed today, but I got McDonald's tea, I got a couple slushes, and I had my Subway. But I didn't have my ocean water. I didn't make it in time for the after school crowd. Maybe tomorrow. Thank you, sweetie. And you could tell I had a good time at Subway. The guy that works there looks like Bob Burgers. And they're really nice people that work there. And I went to the park at Malden, the Martha Luther King Park. And the funny thing is, last time I was there, I met a girl there, and she was getting married April 10th. She invited me to her wedding, but I didn't get a chance to go to it. You know, things didn't work out as planned. And I met her husband, and I met her. They was nice people. I always meet somebody. Like today, I met this older man. He's like, "Are you making a movie?" He's like, "It'll be a pretty good movie if you're making a movie." And I was like, "No, I'm just making a TikTok video." And then he told me he was single. Thank you, sweetie. He's like, "I'm single," and he was acting like he wanted my number. But, I've been giving my number out to, like, I just wasn't attracted to him. Thank you. I just thought it was funny. But I always talk to someone or meet somebody when I'm out. Someone I probably will never see again. And it was just nice, conversation, talking to him. He told me I could walk through the park with him and his dog. But I was on my way out. I was ready to get going. So I did get my walk in this afternoon. So that was a good thing. But I didn't walk 2 laps. I usually walk 2 laps around. Oh, the Subway was so delicious. I enjoyed my time there. I had a good lunch. I didn't get there until about 2 p.m. Yeah, I ended up getting that sandwich. I get it toasted with everything on it but black olives and tomatoes. I like all the vegetables but black olives and tomatoes. The tomatoes just have so much acid in it. And I just don't eat black olives. I eat the green olives, but I don't like the black ones. Yeah, Subway tuna is really good. I like the chicken bacon ranch. Tomorrow's chicken day. I'll probably go get me a sandwich tomorrow. That sounds good. It's teriyaki chicken, but I don't like the teriyaki sauce. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. I'm not really hungry. I might make me a grilled cheese later and eat some chips. Last night I ate like 3 bags of chips, a grilled cheese. I ate so much yesterday, and this morning I made me a bacon omelet, and then I had the tuna fish around 2 p.m., and I'm still not that hungry yet. I woke up this morning and I was so hungry, even after eating all that food last night. I ate so much. I ate 2 sandwiches, 4 sandwiches yesterday, actually. And then I ate leftover fajitas from Mother's Day and a fajita omelet. I ate so much yesterday, and then I woke up and it felt like I was starving, after eating all that. I can't believe I ate 4 sandwiches yesterday. 2 ham sandwiches. I know. I have gained 8 pounds in a month. I was 127 pounds. Now I'm 135 pounds. I think it's from walking 5 miles. Hi there, sweetie. How are you doing today? Nice of you to join in. I didn't get to see my daughter Sunday. That was a disappointment, but I still had a good Mother's Day. I got a flower. I went to the Mexican restaurant, got me a new vape. I really don't like it that much, but hey, I haven't made homemade pizza in a while. It sounds good. Her dad didn't answer me on the phone. I let him, and he told me I could see her every couple weeks. He wouldn't take her away from me. He would let me see her, and he lied to my face. He still hasn't got back to me. I've sent messages and everything like that. He hasn't let me know anything. But she got back to me, and I said, I thought I'd get to see you on Mother's Day. She goes, I know. And she did tell me she loved me. So I've been sending her messages every night, letting her know that I love her. Oh, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to go to Walmart and get me some things that I need. I went to Walmart today and got me some cheese. For I can make omelets in the morning. For I can make my bacon omelet. All I needed was cheese. I've got eggs, bacon. I've got groceries. Fish and all that. Chicken, frozen stuff. I got frozen stuff, but I just don't want to make it. I haven't heard back from Sonic yet, and it seems like they got everybody that they need. I might need to go to, there's 2 Sonics in town. I might need to go to the other Sonic and see if they're hiring. I just want 2 days a week, just to keep my mind off things, be busy, and just meet new people. I think if I get out there in Subway, they're all full at Subway. And there's a Subway here in town, but they're not hiring at the moment. And yeah, I would like just a couple days a week. All I need is 2 days a week. I used to be a phone operator. I put my application in there to see if I can get my job back. But I got hacked into my phone and I ended up losing my job because this guy, he would not leave me alone. He said hateful things and I ended up losing my job. I don't know. I've never worked at a grocery store before. I've never thought about it. Yeah, I thought about Walmart. I'm not sure. I'm just going to figure out a place where I'd like to work at. I'd like to work from home again. I worked from home being a phone operator. I enjoyed every bit of it. Like, I would keep my phone on all night long, and I'd answer the phone. I really enjoyed that until this guy started creeping on me and started getting into my phone, hacked into my phone, and just saying stuff while I was on the phone with my clients. I would like to. My grandma was a door greeter. She's worked all of her life. She quit when she was 79 years old. You know, she's worked since she was a young girl. And she worked all the way up to 79. Isn't that awesome? Some people can work and some people can't. You know, after my brother ended up passing away, my mom couldn't work anymore due to depression. You know, she was really depressed. Sometimes people can't work and people need to accept that, you know, for the situation they're going through. Sometimes someone's mental's not right, emotional, you know, emotional stress. Like my mom, she was depressed emotionally, and she worked as a nurse at VNA, and she loved her job. But after that happened, she tried to go back to work, and she just couldn't go back to work due to depression. And depression runs in my family. Bipolarness runs in my family. Things like that run in my family, and sometimes people can't work. And my brother sometimes would put her down for not being able to work or say hateful things to my mom. So she had to go through that, you know. Sometimes people can't help it because they can't work. It just depends on the situation they're going through. So nobody should put someone down just because they're not working or say you're living off the government. I paid the government. I mean, I paid my dues. You know, I paid my taxes every year and I filed my taxes every year. And I'm never going to say, hey, you're living off my taxes. That sounds so silly. Everybody's got to pay taxes. Nobody's living off someone's taxes. They should stand by that person that can't work, you know, that's got things going on for themselves, and then lift their spirits up, talk good to them. Yeah, Social Security number you pay in. My mom, she got her disability, but it took her a while for her to get her disability. And her doctor was on her side, you know. After my brother passed away, it took about a year for her to get her disability. And she needed to get her disability. She done lost her dad. She done lost a daughter. She's lost a lot of family members. We don't have a lot of our family. And we're not super close to our family. Thank you for the flower, Glenda. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while to get disability, you know, and that's what you pay in on your Social Security. So you're not living off the government and you're not taking advantage of other people. And people say that. Oh, that's great. Driving off work. That's awesome. How was your day, hon? Did you have a good day at work? And people that are working, they'll put people down that's not working. They don't know their situation. They don't know their life story. So don't put somebody down for not working. Sometimes people just can't work. You know, it just depends on the situation they're going through. You know, and that's sad. My day was so wonderful. I went to Campbell, Missouri. I haven't been there in a while. And I needed to go there. You know, I needed to go there, get flowers. And I went to my grandparents' grave, and they really needed new flowers at theirs. My mom already put flowers at my brother's. He had enough flowers out there, and so did my sister, but I added some to theirs. And then I went to my grandparents, and they didn't have, they had some old flowers in the vase. A lot of people don't go to my grandparents' grave, you know, like their kids and stuff, but they need to start. You know, they need fresh flowers out there. My brother was 19 in a car accident. He passed away. And my mom, she became a grandma at the age of 37. So his daughter lost a father, so it was hard on his daughter. Yeah, he was 19 years old. My sister passed away of crib death when my mom was young. My brother was just a year old when my sister passed away. Yeah, it's heartbreaking on my mom. It was heartbreaking on my family. After my brother had passed away, we always made sure we said, I love you and all that. Always gave each other hugs. Before we left the house, we made sure we told our mom that we loved them. My mom was always worried about us kids, you know. She would stay up all night long waiting on us to get home. Or she would just stay up all night. She did it to my brother Mitchell. She would stay up all night just waiting on him to get home. That night that he passed away, I was on the couch and I was sleeping, and I noticed it was 2 o'clock in the morning. He wasn't home yet. Well, by 3:30, the cops came to the house, and I was 13 years old, and I answered the door, and I thought they was coming to talk to my brother, my other brother. But I answered the door and I asked him what was going on at the age of 13. And then my dad walked into the room. And my dad knew what happened when they handed him my brother's wallet to him. And it was a sad situation. And then I had to see my mom crying. And it was just sad. You know, you think you have everything. You think you're rich. You know, you have everything going for yourself when you have your family. And then you lose the missing piece to the puzzle. I lost that, you know. Thank you, sweetie. I'm glad for y'all support. And, you know, that is so great to have somebody, you know, say that. I appreciate it. And it was just sad. My brother Chris, he stayed in his room most of the time after my brother passed away. You know, he took it very hard, but he stayed silent. You know, and he stayed silent. And my mom, she had a tough time like teaching us how to drive. She taught my brother Chris how to drive after my brother passed away. But when I turned 15, my aunt helped me get my permit. But my mom was always worried about me driving, you know, considering what happened to my brother. So my dad ended up teaching me how to drive. And I ended up getting my license, but it was just so hard, you know, on my parents. They didn't want it to happen to their other kids, what happened to my brother. You know, they was always worried about me driving or always worried about where I was at. My mom would stay up all night and she would call me. Oh, I have a Nissan Road and I love it. It's a 2021. I got it paid off. Thank the Lord. And I was so happy. I had a Nissan Road in 2021 too. But this one I got paid off. Thank God. And I love my car. I love that I'm not walking and I'm able to drive places. Oh, yeah, they are great cars. Yes, having it paid off is a blessing. You know, now if I need new tires, I can get them. Or if something goes wrong with it, knock on wood that nothing ever goes wrong with it for a while. Because I just got it like in March. Well, in April. So I've only had my car for like a month. So I'm stepping on up, girls and guys, you know. Yes, it is definitely a blessing. Yeah, my car's only got 60,000 miles on it, 61,000. Hey, girl, how are you doing? Yeah, I had a different one before. I had a white one. This one's blue. And I love it. It's a little different from my other one, but that's okay. Go on. If you're never gonna move on. Need some whiskey glasses. My favorite song by Morgan Wallen is You Proof. Thank you for the heart, me sweetie. Appreciate it. Gonna make it through. Thank you for the heart, me sweetie. Yeah, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do this weekend. But I know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go to Walmart and pick up a few things. And I might eat at Subway. I love you too, sweetie. Yeah, I try to be happy. You know, that's the best way to be. And not mad, aggravated at stuff. You know, it's just good to blow it off. You know, get it off your chest. Feel good. Thank you for the rose, sweetie. And it's just good to feel good about yourself in the situation you're going through. Just be positive. That's the best way to be. Get out on the couch right now with someone new. Because if you're not positive, you're always negative. I used to be negative. You know, I used to be real negative. Let's see. Just the way I got treated. Yes, that is true. Now I have more respect for others and respect for myself. And I want my peace and I want my happiness. Yes, negativity spreads like wildfires. Yeah, me too. You know, like I notice a lot of people are negative from their past. They're like, well, this happened, that happened. Well, let it go. You got to let things go. If you don't let them go, they're going to haunt you for the rest of your life. Like when you meet someone and they start bossing you around, I'm like, I don't want to go through that same thing. Oh, thank you so much. You seen the video? Yeah, I just got that today. I thought it was so cute. And you don't want the negativity around your kids. You know, thank you, sweetie. You don't want the negativity around your family, your kids, or anybody. Negativity starts more stuff, or like when they bring up an old employee that don't mean nothing to you. This employee, she hurt me more than anything in this world, and then her name got brung up a million times by my ex. And I didn't want to hear her name. She meant nothing to me. I didn't work with her no more, you know, and she was not a good worker. And I hired her out of the kindness of my heart. Gave her $800, paid her electric bill, helped her every time she needed money. So I won't do that anymore. All right, Glenda, it was nice talking to you, sweetie. You have a great night too, babe. Ice cream sounds good. Cheesecake Blizzard, you know, sounds delicious. Yeah, one day I'll have to. My friend Maureen, he works at the insurance place in Kennett, Missouri. I'll have to go see him and get me some ice cream. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, surround myself with positive people, not someone that says, "What the F are you doing?" You know, someone that's rude and hateful and wants to choke you, hit you, slap you. I don't want that. I want someone that loves me for me, you know. Someone loves my voice, someone loves the way I act, someone just loves me. Because life is too short. You know, I've made a lot of wrong choices with the wrong people. You know, being friends with the wrong people and and they took advantage of me. Took my kindness for weakness. You know, every time they needed money, I was there to back them up. But when I needed a little bit of money, I needed a little bit of help. I got stuck in Columbia and I called a friend of mine, an ex-employee, and I said, hey, can you help me out? Can you cash at me $20? She wouldn't cash at me nothing, but she'd take $3,500 from me in a minute because I took care of her and her son. She didn't have custody of her son. Her son needed new shoes. Her son needed to get away from her boyfriend, and I helped them get a hotel, gave her $800 to pay her electric bill, And I needed to take care of my own family. But then, I took care of her family too. And then I asked her for a ride. She couldn't even give me a ride. I let her borrow my car. And, I gave her a job, paid her bills for her, paid her hotel rooms for her and her kid because I didn't want her kid being around her ex that beat her. So I took care of her through thick and thin. And then when it came to the other way around to me, I got stuck in Colombia almost. I asked her for $20 to cash at me before I could make it home. She wouldn't give me a penny. Never would. Every time I asked her for her help, and I just seen her a couple of weeks ago, and I said, "Hey girl, how are you doing?" She goes, "I'm doing great." Well, she ended up losing both of her kids, had to go to rehab, and I just made the wrong choice of hanging out with her. She was not a very good person at all. She just uses people for money and sells her body, and just uses people. She don't even know who the father of her new daughter is. And it's a sad situation. When you help out somebody, when they want to help you out. That's why I don't give out my money. I don't let people borrow money anymore because they won't return the favor. I learned my lesson about letting people borrow my vehicles and all that because I let this girl borrow my vehicle for she can go back and forth to get her kids something to eat, take her kid to the doctor's office. But when I needed her, she was never there to be found. She just posted videos on her Facebook about me, put me down as a person, treated me bad. So I got to take care of me and my family first. And I took care of her family and her needs and her wants and got haunted with her name. My ex kept bringing up her name, and he started hanging out with her without permission. I didn't want him hanging out with her. She was just a bad person all the way around. Sometimes we give those bad people a chance to enter our life in which they never entered our life. I wish that I never hired her as an employee. I wish I never got involved with her. She was the biggest mistake in my life. And now she has me on Facebook as one of my TikTok videos. And she goes, "Yeah, that is my manager." I had respect for her, and her family. I would never sit there and put her family on Facebook, talk bad about her. But she did me. And, still to this day, I'm not scared of her or anything like that. I seen her at Casey's, and I went right up to her with kindness. But she took my kindness for weakness and used me as much as she could use me like an old dirty towel. And I couldn't believe it. Some of the people like you hang out with, it's just the wrong choices. It's the wrong person to be around. They'll mess up your whole family, everything that you worked hard for, and that's what she tried to do. Hey there, sweetie. How are you doing? Thank you. But, if somebody's having problems, maybe they can go to a church. I can't give out my money no more. Like, if I see someone, asking for help, I might give them a couple dollars or $5. God always comes back in mysterious ways and helps me. But, I helped her a lot. I even got loans and helped her, gave her money. I gave her so much money. It was pathetic. Like, she'd tell me she can't come to work unless she had gas money. She couldn't come to work unless, she had to stay in a hotel. So I gave her money to get a hotel. And, every day she came to work asking for money. And that was my stupidity, giving her the money. I should have said no. She asked employees for money. She asked customers for money. She would just ask anybody for money. She asked my ex-fiance for money. "Give me $20. I need $20. And he would give her money. Guys would give her money. She used her body for money. That's why she don't know who the father of her baby daddy is. She doesn't know who it is. She was been with several guys, just taking advantage of guys and women. Whoever felt sorry for her, would give her money. And that's not good, but she would go out and spend the money on the gambling machines instead of spending the night at the hotel, instead of taking care of her kid. Her kid had 105 temperature, and she'd leave him at home by himself. He was 9 years old, staying at home by himself, and she didn't even have custody of her. custody of him. Her cousin has custody of him. It's so sad, that she didn't even care about her son. She cared more about the gambling machine than her own son. I said, "Are you going to go home? You need to take care of your son." She wouldn't go home. I paid for his shirts. I paid for his shoes. I paid for a lot of things. And I never got a thank you. I appreciate you, anything like that. So I just got to be careful who I give money to, or, I'm not working at Subway anymore, but I hired her out of a pity party. She came in, she didn't have nothing to wear. She didn't have her birth certificate. I had to help her out get her birth certificate. I helped her out more than her family did. But when it came to helping me, she was nowhere to be found. She never went to my house. And when I was going through a hard time, I didn't hear from her on the phone or anything like that. So you just got to be careful who you help out. You got to be careful, who you become friends with. That was my worst mistake, is making her my friend. And all my other friends, they told me, they said, "I can't hang out with you if you're hanging out with her. I don't want the problems." But that was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. If I can go back and change it, I wish I would have told her, "No, you can't have my money." She seen that I had $6,000 in the bank, so she drained it dry, with asking for money all the time. And that was my stupidity, giving her the money, which it should have went in my household, but instead it went in her household. And that was a sad situation, but I just wanted to help her son out. But then I come to find out she didn't even have custody of him. Her cousin did. And her cousin was getting the check and all that. And he was living with her. It was just a sad situation all the way around. Thank you, sweetie. I done it for her son, but then one of my other employees said that she was spending the money in the gambling machine. Every time she seen that I had money, she was always wanting it, and I just thought, well, hey, she's going to use it on her son. But, then I started buying him things that he needed, like new shoes. He needed something, so new shirts or whatever, and I would get them for him. Well, you have a good night. It was good talking to you, sweetie. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And the same thing with my ex fiance. He left his car in impound. And every time he needed money or every time he needed me, I was standing by him in court. I stood by him, pretended to be his wife for he can get his car out of impound. I took off work, but he never took off work for me. And every time I say, "Hey, I need you," or I'd send him an email explaining that I needed his help, he was like, he would never help me. He never took off work for me, but I always took off work early to be with him and to help him out. Cooked, cleaned, did everything that a woman should do for him. Took off his shoes, started his shower, did everything, cooked for him, did more than his parents ever done for him, more than his family ever done for him, and he just walked all over me. When it came for me needing him, he was never there for me. Wouldn't come home from work on time, would be hanging out with my ex-friends, and, cheated on me constantly. And I never got an apology for it. And then he would say it's not the girl's fault. Well, she knows that we're together. It is her fault. She shouldn't be home wrecking a home, and you shouldn't be helping her do it. You should have just, you know. Yes, he did talk to me like that. And he lied on me. It's 420. Of course, I'm going to be smoking THC. And then what he said to me, he said, "Get off the rugs, get your life together." That hurts so bad. And I asked him, I said, and then he complained about an 8-hour drive. He goes, "I'm not driving there. I'm 8 hours away. But I would drive for you. I took off work for you and lost money, you know. And I was a manager. I would usually work 16 hours a day. And one time I was at work midnight and he accused me of not being there. And I was there. I have to be there. I had to be there 24/7 most of the time because nobody would show up for work. He did talk to me bad. And he shouldn't have talked to me like that. I never got an apology. And he's got my glasses. He had my contacts. He didn't care about my vision. He didn't care about my well-being, my health. He didn't care about standing beside me. And I stood beside him through thick and thin. Every time he needed me, I would help him out. And that's just a sad situation. When he was in jail, I went up there to bail him out of jail. And then when something happens to me, he's not there for me. Yeah, I should have. Yes, I'm ready for someone to treat me good, but that's what I'm scared of. Like every time that we'd break up, I would start dating somebody else, and I'm like, no, they're like him. I got to move on. Or they don't have tags on their car because he didn't have tags on his vehicle. So he was cheating on me in Mounds, Illinois. And I had to go pick up his vehicle from Mounds, Illinois and pretend to be his wife and get his tags on his car, let him drive my car. And he never had to pay rent at my house, but punched holes in the wall, wrote racial slurs all over my bathroom, tore up my bathroom, and just tore up my bedroom, tore up my vehicle, took my glasses, took my contacts. That's why I'm not worried about getting my glasses back from the neighbor. It's just not worth it if it's going to cause problems or anything like that. Because he could have sent me my ex could I left him in Michigan. I left my glasses and my contacts, and I left a pair of glasses in his car. And he never sent them to me. He just moved on with that Brittany Crook, started telling her that he loved her. If you love one person, you don't move on that quick and start telling other women you love them. But he said, I tell all women I love them. Every woman I kiss. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. It's time for someone to treat me like a woman, treat me and respect my boundaries. And if I don't like something, I just don't like it. And a lot of guys, like when I start dating them, they're like, I'm going to marry you, girl. This one guy, David, he was so funny. Me and my ex split up. Yes, you are right. I do need to be loved and cherished and respected and be treated right. Not just somebody just walking off and leaving the situation. They need to stay there and fix the situation before they leave their family and their kids and move 8 hours away from your problems. Fix the problems you got. Fix what you messed up at my house, the holes you punched in the wall, the bathroom you tore up. Fix the problems that you messed up. Send someone their glasses back. Apologize for physically abusing somebody, emotionally abusing them, mentally abusing them. But, now I'm just working on myself. Like, a girl got a hold of me on Tinder. Yeah, he was an addict. He's got 2 counts of methamphetamine in the state of Louisiana. He has 1 count in the state of Missouri. And I stood by him in court. And he has never stood by me. When I needed someone to go to court with me, he decided not to. I asked him, I reached out for him, and he said, not considering what you said about my daughter. If you was so worried about your daughter that passed away in a car accident, why treat another woman like that? Would you want her to be raised? She'd be 20 years old today. And would you want her to be slapped and hit and punched around, or would you want your mama to be done that way? Then why do another woman that way if you didn't want your mama to be done that way? Yeah, I am very loyal. When I'm with one person, I just want to be with one person only. I don't want no STDs or worried about a guy sleeping with another woman and not coming home. When it's time for him to get off work, I don't want him calling Diana McGee from Columbia and telling her that he loved her and he was only with her one night, and then talking to another woman instead of coming home and being a man. I don't need a boy, I need a man. I've been messing around with boys all my life. I need a man, except one, my first fiance. He treated me with respect. He loved me. He cried when I broke up with him. He was so upset. Yes. And lies is like with boys, they want to accuse you of doing something that they done or something they brung into your house that they should have never brung into your house, and other women they took up for, saying that she didn't do nothing. Oh, yeah, she did. She needed to have respect for me. She didn't need to be messing around with you when she knew that we was together. So yes, she did do something. She pulled down her pants and she shouldn't have done that. And spreaded those legs, knowing that you was in a relationship, knowing that you should have came home and been a man. And you slept with her and then told her about me. You should have waited until you got home. He was a traveler. He couldn't wait 4 days to pull down some panties and then tell me that he loved me. Yes, that is true. Yes, my peace is my priority too. And my well being, my health, my mental stage, emotional stage. And I don't want to be choked. I don't want to be physically abused again. I don't want my house tore up. I don't want the jealousy, the heartache, the pain. I've been through so much, all my life. Ever since I lost my brother, he's the one that took up for me, the one that was there for me. He was like my hero. And ever since I lost him, guys have taken advantage of me and used my kindness for weakness. Except my first fiance. He treated me like so good. I need to find somebody like him. Somebody that likes to get out of the house, don't like to stay in the house and lay around and have me do everything for them, take off their boots, start their shower, bring them breakfast in bed, and all that stuff. And they won't get out of bed and play with the kids. I need someone that's going to play with my kids, take my kids' places, be a father figure to my kids. And that's what I need, instead of someone putting my kids down, saying their son's prettier than my little girl. That's a boy. That's not a girl. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my standards. I'm not going to settle for less. Yes, you're right, guys. Thank you so much. So just imagine if his daughter was alive. He would hit her, punch her if she done something wrong. That is so sad. Yes, he was comparing kids. He was saying that my daughter's not pretty, that his son was prettier. That's a little boy. He's cute, but he ain't pretty. I'm not going to talk about whose daughter it is. It's one of my exes. I'm not going to say it's his kid or anything like that. But if you wouldn't slap your mama, or if you wouldn't slap your kid, or hit your mama, don't hit on another woman. I'm not saying who it is. It's just one of my exes. I'm not saying it's him, because I don't want to cause problems with him. I don't want him coming into my life accusing me of things that I didn't do. You know, I'm from Arkansas. And I haven't met no one around here yet. Everybody that I talk to, they say they want a long-term relationship and they just want to get in your panties. And I don't want nobody like that. I want to get to know them at least for a couple months or 3 months before they try getting in the panties. And I know that we're old, 41, that I'm older. I'm 41 years old. And that's what most guys say. Well, we're adults, it might as well happen. We're both adults. I've been to Miami, Oklahoma. Yes, I'm going to be patient and be safe who I date and who I want to be around my kids. That's the best thing in life. Making sure my daughters are happy. And if they don't see mama happy, then they're not going to be happy. They want to see a guy taking care of me, treating me like a woman, respecting my body and respecting me and respecting my boundaries. and not hit their mom, chase their mom around the house, punch her in the back. I got punched in the back. I had to show my aunt and, all that stuff. And a guy pretending to get someone pregnant. He didn't just say tips for mama on his Pinterest, act like he's got girls pregnant and all that stuff. And that's terrible. If you want a baby that bad, then make sure you take care of your other two kids. Why move 8 hours away? And even my dad said that. His main priority should be living in Louisiana with that child or living, being with that little kid. A little kid needs their dad. They don't need them running off to Michigan. And that's what he did. When me and him had problems, he didn't fix the problems at home. He ran off like a little baby boy. At least fix your problems that you got at home before running off and being with another woman and bullying me. Hey there, how are you doing, sweetie? Hello there, Strawberry Shortcake. Glad you joined in. Hey there, hon. How's everybody doing? Thank y'all so much. So I've overcome a lot, and I'm glad they keep on doing it. Keep overcoming the past. Yeah, I was a little bit, about relationships and, the past and all that stuff, moving forward and saying what I like, and positive views, like what I'm looking for in a man. I'm looking for a man that just wants to stand by me and stand by my daughters and loves my kids, wants to go to do fun things with the kids, like go to Six Flags, go to Branson, just go to Nashville, just enjoy it. I know, Cheryl, you're always here to make me laugh. That's a good song, Stand By Me. Yes, there is nothing you can do about the past. I can't go back and change it from 3 years ago when he went in the bathroom and snorted it. Been like a snorkel. You know, I can't change that. You can't tell someone to stop doing what they're doing. They're going to keep doing it behind your back. I know. I asked Jesus about it too. I said, come on, give me someone that's right for me. Someone that'll take care of me and my family and not put us down. That is true. And I can't believe it. Like, I got on Tinder and I like this girl as a friend. Yeah, that's true. He wasn't meant for me. I haven't found anybody that's meant for me yet. But maybe one day I will. But I mean, I like to find a guy in public, instead of on the internet or whatever. And yes, this girl got on there and she wanted to be with me and let her husband watch. And I just wanted a friend. That's all I wanted, to hang out with someone like and just go out to eat with them or go shopping, just 30 minutes. I don't want a friend staying over for a couple hours. I like going out and having lunch for someone, even if I got to pay for it. Yes, I thought, wow, that is wild. Yeah, I'll download that site. I need to. And it's hard finding friends at the age of 41. I know they're out there, but it's just hard. Like my long term friend Tracy, we don't talk anymore. Okay, that's awesome. Yes, we're gonna eat pizza one of these days, girls. Girl, I'd love to. Pizza in. You're 41, so am I, sweetie. And it's hard, the dating pool, you know? Yes, that would be great, Cheryl. Yes. That's awesome. Well, happy early birthday, sweetie. Yes, it is definitely hard to trust people these days. And, like being with somebody and they bring another girl into your relationship, you never wanted her in your relationship, you never wanted her mentioned. And then she gets mentioned all the time. And I'm like, wow, she means nothing to me. Why do I need to hear her name or hear her? Thank you, sweetie. Yeah, I need a loyal man. It's just hard to find these days. It is definitely hard to find. But I'm in no rush. I kind of rushed in a couple weeks ago talking to somebody, and that was a mistake. But I learned from it and lived from it, and, I'll find somebody. Yes, that's what I'm talking. Be friends first before you start kissing on lips, before you start moving serious or telling somebody what to do. Yes, that's the best way to be. And someone forcing themselves on you is not a good thing. Like, it just makes me sick. Yes, I made a checklist before. I used to do that. Oh, really? I could do that. I could help you build a new fence. Yes, that is true. That is true. Three checks, they're out. I just don't want something from the past to haunt me again. Like their tags are out on their vehicle, they beat women, treating women bad. Because if you're not going to treat your mama that way, or your sister, or your daughter, don't treat me that way. And that is true. I mean, would you beat your twin sister? Would you slap her in the face or your mama in the face? Then don't slap me in the face. If you ain't gonna do that to your mama, don't do it to me. Yes, that is true. Or watch how they treat their children. Most of the time, when I meet children, I'm the one babysitting them. When I first meet your child, I'm the one playing with them, reading their books, and I see how their dad interacts with them. Their dad don't have nothing to do with them. Dad's reading mail, not taking care of the kid, not playing with the kid. That's a sad situation. So I make them play with their kid. I just go on. I drove 8 hours to see someone's kid, and I played with them the whole time while the dad didn't do nothing. So the last time I was up there, I went to Mr. Gaddy's, and I made him spend time with him. I went shopping, and I left him at the pizza place because I wanted to make sure he had memories with his dad. He needed to have memories that he'll never forget, not memories with me. I was just his fiance. He needed to have memories with that little boy. Needed to love him, needed to be a father instead of running around doing drugs with Brittany and them girls. Oh, yes, that is so sad. They lied about not having kids. Yeah, I read his child books, played with his child, watched him skate and all that stuff while he just played on his phone and read mail, did just kept on getting on his phone. So I made sure last time we was at the game room that he played with his child, because I wasn't gonna be the one. And then Instead, he was talking to his ex, talking to other women. And instead of being in the bedroom watching him play PlayStation, making memories with that boy, he should be making memories with his son instead of me being the babysitter. And that's what I felt like. And he always thought he needed a woman to go with him to see his child. His child told me, he said, you know what, there's always a different girl up here with Daddy. And I felt so bad for the little boy. He said, Daddy's always got a different girl. Daddy's got to have a girl with him every time. He's met like 20 girls, and he's only 10 years old. He has met so many girls because his dad has to have a girl with him every time he goes and sees them to take care of his son. And that's sad, that boy, after him and his mom split up, he has to have a girl go with him every time he sees his kid. That is so sad. Why don't he go see his kid by himself and be a father? So sad. But I'm glad I got to meet his kid, play with him, read him books, watch him at the skate park. And I would have been a good stepmom to him, but he took advantage of me. He took my kindness for weakness. I would read the mail when I got home and play with my son if I only had one day with my kid. He only had one day with his kid and didn't have nothing to do with him. Hey there, sweetie. How are you doing? So pictures, really don't mean nothing. Like, he'll take a picture with his son, but that don't mean that you have a connection with your son because you're not playing with him. You'll take a picture with your kid before you leave the state. Yes, that's what I was thinking. I hope so. I hope he doesn't end up like his dad, bringing 20 different women around his fiance, bringing 20 different women around his kid. All them women didn't need to be around that child. I never do that to my girls. When I go on a date, it's confidential. I don't bring guys around my kids. It's not good on the child. And then they start treating women bad like their dad, calling them names, calling them a psycho, treating the women like bad. Like, he's got a 16-year-old son. I hope he don't go out there. And he has called women names. His dad told him to call a woman a psycho, put women down, and he's 16 years old. That ain't a father figure. You need to have respect for women. Yes, he told his 16-year-old kid to put down a woman, and he treated that woman bad. He said it called her names, called her a psycho, called her at work. The 16-year-old called her names, and I said, that is ridiculous. Didn't apologize, didn't say anything. And then he takes about 20 different women around a 6-year-old child. I thought, oh my goodness. And this child told me, he said, Daddy always has a new girlfriend. Daddy has a new girlfriend every time he comes up here. He's not going to marry you because he's got a new girlfriend every time. And that's sad on that child to see his dad with a new girlfriend every time he comes up there. He needs to see his daddy alone. So I thought, me and him's not going to work out, and I didn't want to get attached to him, didn't want to get involved with him that much because he wasn't a good dad to his kid. I know, I thought that was messed up on the kid's part. Their dad needs to love them, spend time with them, get on the floor and play with toys. I'm the one that got on the floor, played with the toys, read the books, been like a mom to him, while his dad just sat there and on his phone and read mail. Yeah, that's what I should have done. And his son goes, you're not the first girl that came up here. Daddy has like 20 girlfriends. Daddy has a new girlfriend every time he comes up here and sees me. He brought a girl from Mexico, paid for a plane ticket, had him around his kid for the first time, brought different, like, bunch of different girls around that little boy. And that's so sad. That shows that little boy that it's okay to hang out with different women, put women down, treat women bad, and talk to women. And the little boy even touched me in inappropriate places, and I had to tell him no. He tried to follow me to the bathroom, and it was very disrespectful. And his dad didn't even get on to him or anything like that. He wasn't even worried about the kid. I had to say, no, don't follow me to the bathroom. Don't try to look in on me in the bathroom. He tried to look in on me, try to touch my butt, smack my butt, and all that stuff. It was just nasty and disgusting that you would think it was okay. He thought it was funny. That's not funny. And he would teach his kids to call other women psychos, talk about other women. You don't ever have a kid call someone's work and call them a psycho and talk to them bad, treat them bad. It shows that you're not a very good guy and you're not a very good father to have your kids do certain things like that. Yeah, he's not a good role model at all. He might pay good child support money for them to be able to go places and do things. He pays $1,000 a month in child support, but that doesn't make you a good dad. And to sit there and move that far away from your kids and to let your kids see, his videos that he makes. I mean, I feel sorry for the kids having to see their daddy flip off the screen and have other women in videos, him dancing. He's supposed to be a supervisor and he's smoking pre-rolls on there, but want to talk about me smoking pre-rolls. But he's in videos smoking them pre-rolls with 20-year-old girls that's old enough to be his daughter that passed away in a car accident. He's on there with them women. And I thought, that is so sad. I mean, being on there with them, that don't look good on your 16-year-old son. And his 16-year-old son's got TikTok, and so does his 10-year-old son's got TikTok. And seeing their daddy on there doing that stuff and degrading women, putting women down, and doing all that when you got a mama. And you seen your mama get hit, and you seen your mama get beat on. Why beat on someone else? That is so true. Yes, I had a wonderful day, strawberry shortcake. I had a great day. I did some exciting things that I haven't done in 3 years, that I haven't been able to do. I bring flowers out to the cemetery. And I went to parks. I did some sightseeing. I just had a beautiful day. Everything worked out great. Yeah, I was so happy that I got to experience today, and I just got to go out and have a wonderful time with myself, and I met somebody, a guy. He was so sweet. He told me, he said, "Are you making a movie?" I'm still working on it. I'm trying to be the positive I can be. Thank y'all, girls and guys. Y'all mean a lot to me for saying that. That's awesome. I've always tried to be positive, and just happy, and some people don't like it. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm just, when I get excited when I haven't seen no one in a long time, and my voice will kind of change. Yes, that's what I'm doing. And I'm happy with myself. Maybe I'll meet someone one day that's happy with the way that I act and happy who I am and wants to respect me and respect their kids and wants to be a good father to their kids. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just let it all flow into place. Everything takes time. It'll all take time. Yes, that's the best way to be. I've had so much negativity in my life all my life. You know, ever since my brother passed away, there has been so much negative in my life. I've helped people out. Like, I got custody of my niece when she was 2 years old, and then she said something hateful to me, you know, and that hurt my feelings. I was more of a mom to her than anybody was. Once she got out of my care, she became pregnant, and she didn't even know who the father of her baby is. And I was sad for her. That was very depressing on me and stressed out because I'm a strict parent. I always made sure she didn't have no boys at the house, made sure she went to school clean. I'd always make sure she took care of herself, and she acted like I was nothing. After all that I've done for her, I got her out of foster care for she wouldn't have to be in foster care anymore, and I got guardianship of her, and I didn't want no money. I told the lady came to my house, the foster care, and I went through the foster care system and all that. I went and picked her. Me and my mom went and picked her up at Popper Bluff, got her out of foster care. And my mom wasn't able to take care of her because of her disability at the time. So I ended up getting custody of her because my brother couldn't take care of her. He was working in South Carolina, and he was too interested in girls instead of his daughter. And her mom went to jail for abusing her son. She physically abused her son. And she went to jail for 6 years for abusing a baby. And he's still in foster care. He's in a wheelchair for the rest of his life and blind. And that is so sad. Her mom did that to her own child. So I ended up getting my niece and taking care of her, just making sure she had everything she needed and was clean. And all I got in a check, I didn't even want no money out of the situation, was $144 a month. And it didn't go up until she turned 17. It went up to $500 when she was 17. But it takes more money than that. I was a manager at Sonic. So I took care of her every needs and wants. $144 a month is nothing. You can't, a Coke costs $50, in the wintertime. And that is nothing at all. And I never got like, hey, I appreciate you, or anything like that. But she's doing good with her life. She graduated with honors, even though that she don't know who the father of her child is. She's becoming a nurse. She's doing real good. Yes, and that's what I told her, and I explained to her. I said I was only getting $144, and I took it out of the kindness of my heart to raise her and to be a mom to her because she didn't have her mom because her mom went to jail for physically abusing her, and her mom didn't want her. Her mom did not want her. She got out of prison and she went to one guy to the next guy. And she ended up getting married, and she was afraid that my niece was going to ruin her marriage because my niece, she liked to mess around. She was really sexually active. She became sexually active at a young age. And I had to, make sure she didn't mess around with other guys. She had dad issues, so she was dependent on a guy to take care of her, and she would run around and do things, and I made sure that it didn't happen at my house. But once she moved in with her dad, she ended up running around and getting pregnant. And I was just disappointed in everything. I didn't want her to experience a life like that, to run out and get pregnant and get involved with like 50 guys. And she didn't need to do that. Disrespecting her body, meeting guys at the park and all that stuff. I'm a strict mom, when it comes to me. Hey there, sweetie. How are you doing? Thanks for joining in. But she's happy now and she's doing good. She's a good mom and all that. So that's good. Thank you, sweetie. But sometimes we make mistakes. And I'm thankful for God that I've always been with one man at a time and I know who my baby daddy is. Yeah, that's how my niece was. She was just real vulnerable. She was looking for love in all the wrong places. And she felt like her dad didn't want her. Her dad would say he would get her in the summertime. Me and my mom, we would always talk to my brother. Don't tell her something if you're not going to do it. At least do it. And her mom would say that she wanted her and she never wanted her. She's living with her mom now, her biological mom. And her mom don't like me, and I don't understand why. She should appreciate me for all I done while she stayed in jail, because her grandma, no, none of her family wanted her, except me and my mom. We was the one that helped her, my mom and dad and me, and that was the only people that wanted her. But she treated us so bad. She would call me fat, she would put me down, call me a pig, and I went through so much stress with her. Yeah, I think that is. Because my brother would always say that she was going to get her, and he never got her. Because he called me when she was 2 years old. He said, "Can you get my daughter? I'm at South Carolina working." But he was just so worried about other women and stuff like that. But once he got married a couple years ago, he ended up getting her when she was 17 and a half. And then she ended up pregnant. She was running around with boys and stuff because she just felt like her mom and dad was never there for her, but she didn't appreciate me, being there for her. She would put me down and all that stuff. And she acted like she was sleeping with my ex-fiance, act like she was pregnant by him and all that stuff. It was just an awkward situation, it was just awkward. Yeah, that is true. She always wanted to. She always wanted to be with her mom, but when her mom got out of jail, we met her at McDonald's, and she was too worried about the guy that she was with. And then she ended up with another guy, and I started letting her see her daughter again at the age of 16, and she chose the guy over her daughter because she was afraid her daughter was going to mess around with her husband. She ended up marrying, and she said that she didn't want to have her come over again. But once she got pregnant, she moved in with her mom, and they have a better relationship now, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I know that she was really hurt from her mom and dad not wanting her, and that hurt me and my mom because my brother used to say to my mom, get the hell out of here when he would say that he would watch his own child, or her mom would say that he wanted her. Yes, it was a really complicated situation. But I'm glad that she's having a relationship with her mom now. And her mom ain't scared that she's going to mess up her marriage. She was afraid that she was going to lose her husband because her daughter liked to mess around with other guys. And she was afraid that her daughter was going to mess around with her husband. And that was a sad situation. Very sad situation. She didn't want her to come over to her house anymore, her mom, because she was more worried about her relationship than she was her daughter. So she didn't end up seeing her daughter again until she ended up getting pregnant and moving in with my brother. I said, that is so sad, but it's good that they got a relationship now. But her mom said that she don't like me. She should love me since I got her out of foster care, and she wouldn't be able to see her mom unless it was for me because the state of Missouri, didn't want her seeing her daughter at all due to what she did to her son. She dropped her son on the ground when he was a baby and would rather worry about her cigarettes than her son, and he's going to be blind in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I am so glad that they're together and they're living together now. And she's being a mom to her. So that's a good thing. And she tried to tell me that, I can't use anybody, I did it out of the kindness of my heart to get her. I already had a 6-month-old baby, and she was 2 years old when I had my daughter, Paris, at the age 6 months. The cops came to my mom and dad's house and told me that my niece was in foster care. And my mom said, we got to go get her. So me and my mom drove to Poplar Bluff, and we started going to court to get her. And my mom couldn't get her at the time because she just started her disability. And so they asked me, they said, do you want her? And I said, yes, because her family didn't want her. So I went through the court system. And my brother signed over guardianship to me, and her mom signed over guardianship of me in 2010. It's on Missouri CaseNet. And I ended up getting her and being the best mom I could be to her, but I was strict. I went to Louisiana, and she snuck in my house by herself at the age of 15 and tried to mess around with a boy. But my dad stopped that. And then, I guess, not having a father figure. I've never had dad issues in my life, so I don't know what it's like not to have a mom and dad, and be taken care of by my aunt. In which, I took care of her the best I could. I worked hard. I worked all the time. I was a manager everywhere I worked at. So, my parents kept her while I was at work. I worked 5:30 to 4 o'clock every day at Sonic, 6 days a week. And then I became a housekeeper. And I worked 12 hours a day. Yes, that's all you could do, the best you can, and provide food for them, provide clothes for them and things they need, and be a mom to them. A mom is strict. They don't want you running the streets, running around. A mom's different from a dad, and I didn't want her being that way. And as soon as she moved in with her dad, she ended up getting pregnant and messing around with about 50 guys. And it was depressing. It was sad. I didn't want that to happen before to her, but she's a good mom now. So that's good. And my brother's wife, treats her like a daughter, and that's really good. Yes, and that's what I think, I give myself props. I'm proud of myself for taking care of somebody else's kid because I never had to do that. I could have left her in foster care. Yeah, that's my niece. She's 20 years old. I call her my daughter because I raised her. I took care of her when nobody else wanted her. Nobody else wanted to take care of her. Me and my mom and dad did. She didn't have nobody but me and my mom and dad. And she disrespects my mom and my dad and me. She appraises her real mom. Yeah, I really only have two biological kids, but you can call her my kid because I took care of her from the age 2 until the age of 17. I'm glad that you can relate to my situation. Yeah, I know it's nothing that I did to her. Oh, you was in foster care too, sweetie? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She'll realize that one day, you know, and that's the main thing. It's good that they do that though, Sarah. You know, my mom and dad's helped me out a lot with the kids, especially when I was working, because I worked 6 days a week. And when I worked at Subway in Marston back in 2023, I worked 16-hour days, sometimes 24 hours a day. Yes, my niece, I call her my daughter. She was always angry with me, took it out on me. Like her dad would say, "I'm gonna get you this summer," and would take it out on me and my mom. Think it was our fault when it wasn't our fault. Yeah, she's 20 now. Maybe it'll take until she's 30 years old. She's slight autistic and got ADHD. She had to take ADHD medicine ever since the first grade, and they diagnosed her with slight autistic. Yes, they do take it out. And she told me that I tried to choose a guy over her. I never did choose anybody over her. She chose boys over me. But, that's understandable because she felt like she didn't have nobody, but she had me and my parents. I guess that happens, and I've got to be happy. I can't sit there and think, she don't like me. She's mad at me. She's angry at me because I had to go through that heartache. And I thought, wow, I'm here for you. At the age 2 years old, me and my parents was. And she put us down more than anybody in this world. Thought it was our fault that she didn't get to see her dad. Thought it was our fault that she didn't see her mom. It's not my fault. It's not my fault your mom went to prison over beating her son, making her son be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. That's not my fault, sweetie. And it's not my fault that your dad stayed at South Carolina working and running off with each girl. Yes, it is painful for everybody. You're right, Sarah. Yes. And that's what she thought, and still thinks to this day. And it's a sad situation. Her mom should be like, no, Amber raised you and Amber cared about you. And she wouldn't have got to see her because the state of Missouri did not want her to see her daughter after what she done to her son. But it's good to build a relationship with your kids. And I'm glad that she's doing good now and got a relationship with her mother. So that's a blessing. Well, guys, I'm going to get off here. I'll be back in the morning. I hope everyone has a good night. I might watch me some TK and Mike. I don't know. But thanks everybody for listening to me. I appreciate it. It was nice talking to all of y'all, and I hope everybody has a great night. Good night, Sarah. And I'm glad that we went through the same stuff. We've went through the same stuff, and thank you for telling me about your story, sweetie. And that was awesome to hear because that's how my niece felt the same way that you did. And I'm glad someone else has like the same. I got the experience talking to someone else like that. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing your story, sweetie. We all go through something bad in our lives, something difficult, a bad situation. And it's good to hear somebody else's side of the story. And I'm sure my niece thought that too, like she had nobody but she had me and my parents, but she took her, maybe she'll realize that. Yes, it's helpful to open up, talk to someone, and someone relates to the same story that you have going on. So I'm glad that you shared that with me, sweetie. I hope everybody has a great night. Thank y'all.